see the usual gang of misfits and dope addicts are here.
Well, Scott in Riverdale's very worried. He's like, is Willie okay?
He's fine. He's just fine.
He's fine.
Riverdale. I thought he was worried because he thought we were changing format.
He's fine.
We're no longer an alternative station.
Willie Nelson is an alternative country. He's
No, not really. He's about as traditional a country singer as you can be.
He transcends country.
He
crosses formats.
He doesn't transcend country. He is country. Willie Nelson, Whiskey River, didn't write it. His friend Johnny Bush wrote it and also had a hit with it, apparently. It says, co-written and recorded by country music singer Johnny Bush. It was a hit for both Bush and his friend Willie Nelson. And that song, Whiskey River, gives rise to my family motto. We're up Whiskey River, and thank God we don't have a paddle.
We don't want to reach shore ever.
No. We're gonna drift along. It's a very sad song, really. Whiskey River. He's drowning his sorrows.
Yeah, you're drowning your
Gotta
sorrows.
see if I can drink her out of my mind. I don't want to anymore. I don't want to think about her. And again, that gives rise to my family motto, up Whiskey River, and thank God I don't have a paddle.
Willie Hugh Nelson.
Oh, really?
Hugh.
I had no
Hugh.
idea.
Willie Hugh.
Hugh.
Willie Hugh.
Willie Hugh. Oh, Willie Hugh. Is this Johnny Bush?
I can't find Johnny Bush.
See, the one you played, Carrie, wasn't the one from Honeysuckle Rose.
He first recorded Whiskey River for an album called Shotgun Willie in 1973.
This is the Honeysuckle Rose. This is the best version of it.
Whiskey River, take my mind.
Well, I was playing the one that the country station here on the second floor.
They play the wrong one. Do I have to go have a talk with them?
Maybe you should.
Yeah, you're such an expert on it, Gina. Go ahead. Willie Nelson, he isn't cut. It is a better version.
Whiskey River, take my mind.
Johnny Bush.
Well, now this is real country. He's country.
I'm drowning in a whiskey river.
Yeah.
Bathing my memoried mind in the wetness of its soul.
Kind of the old Hank Snow sort of country.
Feeling the amber current flow from my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And warm my empty heart, she left so cold. Whiskey River, take my mind.
That's a very different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just got a text from Frosty. You guys have met Frosty.
Frosty,
before.
sure, yeah.
Hey, Frosty. Good morning, Frosty.
He's in is he in your Daddy Gary's band?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Frosty recorded a version. He's like, you're going to play my version of Whiskey River?
Is it under Frosty?
Yeah, what do I look for?
Frosty McWilliams. I don't know if it's...
Frosty
are you on
McWilliams.
Spotify, Frosty?
He may be.
You might be.
Isn't everything on Spotify?
I mean, I guess.
Have you ever been a guest on Joe Rogan's show, Frosty?
I don't think so.
No. Is this Frosty?
Mm-hmm. Is it? Oh, it's Frosty.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing you on the radio.
Whiskey River, take my mind. Don't let her memory torture.
Is that your mother singing in the background?
She's back there.
Whiskey River, don't run dry.
Now, so would your Daddy Gary be playing on this record?
I don't know if Frosty recorded his own thing. I don't know if Daddy Gary's on this or not.
Gary ain't good enough to be in my band.
Bathing my memoried mind in the wetness of its soul.
Oh.
There you go.
Now we're changing format.
If it were any other song but Whiskey River, I'd be really upset by now. But how was the weekend, huh?
Oh, it was good.
I didn't go out of the house. I don't think.
I didn't either.
I stayed in.
Yep.
We had tree farm trouble.
Tree farm trouble.
Up at Mohammed's tree farm.
Yeah, the The guy that has the equipment that pulls the trees out of the ground, the spade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ran through our water line, right through it.
I'll pay for that. I have to pay for that. I've got insurance. Don't worry.
He didn't call the number.
Yeah, it's blue stakes.
Blue stake the water line.
By the way, I had a thought for your son's car detailing business.
Oh, yeah.
Muhammad, because you didn't ever use it for the tree farm. Flying carpet car detail.
Flying carpet car detail. There we go.
Flying carpet car detail. Use that one. And you could have a little picture of him on a flying carpet, I'm flying to you now.
I will come to you because he'll come to your house.
With a pressure washer in his
Yeah.
hand, I'm flying
On the
to your
back
house.
on the back of the carpet.
Yeah.
He was bummed because when they decided to start the business, it's been raining for a week. But I told him this week looked better for car detailing. So.
Well, I'm ready anytime. Has he decided how much he's charging?
I'll put him in contact with you. I don't know. I don't want to be involved.
I want to.
That's a good idea.
This is his thing.
What I'm going to want him to do is come here and detail my car.
To the station?
Yeah.
Well,
I parked just on the breezeway.
is there a hose? Is there water down there?
That's his problem to figure out. He's got to figure that out, doesn't he?
Well, Sue's getting back today, so she'll probably want
She'll need a detail.
her car detailed.
Yeah.
And I certainly need mine.
Okay.
So we're ready.
Let him.
And since I've owned this car, 5 years,
Yeah.
I've never washed it. So it really
You've
needs
never
it.
washed it.
It really needs it.
I don't wash my car much.
I don't either.
Like even just drive it through the car wash?
No.
Wash it?
No.
Well, because
It's a water thing.
and you park it inside and you park inside here, so
Yes.
it's not like it's out.
Oh, I didn't understand quite when you said it's a water thing, but what you mean
It's a
is
Sabin water
the
thing.
waste. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's being responsible.
I think most of those places, like the Mr. Hotshine and those places,
They recycle the
they
water.
have they're pretty
They
efficient
capture
about
it
that.
and they
They
filter
reuse it
and
as much as
reuse it,
possible.
yeah.
The Mr. Hotshine on 33rd, they tore it up.
Oh yeah.
You used to be able to go there and they'd like
And they
vacuum
do
your car. And
They do all the
everything.
detailing,
They
right?
don't do that anymore.
So Sue said, I want you to do that before I go on my trip. So I went there, and it's tore up. And I'm looking around for other places that do that, and there aren't.
yeah.
Doesn't
So I had to go to this one where they supply you the stuff. They say, here, you go through our car wash, and here's your cleaning rags and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
You do it, you know.
Doesn't the what's the original one? The it was on West Temple and
Oh, they're not around anymore. I don't think.
the original. Why can't I think of it? The original Utah car wash place, and they used to detail. You just say, "Yep, do it all."
Well, now I got a kid on a magic carpet that
Yeah.
comes to my house now. I don't need them. Don't need them.
This has been Farting Around with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96, Radio from Hell.
Yep. Well, should we take a break and then get this over with? Mm-hmm. All right. Supersonic. Yeah. Thank you, Demetra.
yeah, that's
Supersonic. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. We'll take a break and then we'll come back with your check-ins if you've a mind to do them. 877-602-9696 is the number. Call us. We like to hear from you in the morning. You can also text us, of course, 33986. But the phone is nice, 877-602-9696.
Yes, they're working now.
Yes,
They don't beep.
they sound good.
You'll like it. Hoops Vision Correction, HOOPES Vision.com.
I was thinking about this just the other day, how when I used to go hiking and stuff and mountain biking and all of that and wore glasses. It was terrible. It was just miserable.
Snowboarding for me.
So then I went to Hoops Vision, as Carrie did. No more glasses, no more contact lenses. Made those things much, much more pleasant.
Yes.
And you should do that too, because Hoops Vision, well, they have the best doctors, the best technology, and the best patient care. So why would you go anywhere other than Hoops Vision for your LASIK surgery? I told you the story some time ago about a family member of mine who did not heed my advice and went to one of these other places.
Oh, really?
And they did not. Well, they told her, well, you got this problem, but we can do it anyway. And she said, well, I don't think so. And then so she went to Hoops, and they said, no, we can't, no, you have to wait. So make your appointment now, 877-30 LASIK. You get $800 off, or you can go to hoopsvision.com.
Hicks.
All right, 621. Let's get this over with.
All right, I'm up for that. Please call us and check in. 877-602-9696 is the number to do it. Just say hi. Let us know how your weekend was, how you're feeling, what you'd like to hear us do this week, whatever you want to talk about. 33986 is also a way you can check in with us. That's the text number. Gina?
X96 welcomes the Kilby Block Party to Utah State Fair Park May 10th through the 12th. Bands and artists like LCD Sound System, the Postal Service, Vampire Weekend, and many, many more. Listen all week long to Artie Fufkin. He'll have tickets to give away later today.
The moon is a waning gibbous moon, 71.1% of full. The moon will set today at 10:24 a.m. Today being Monday, it's the 29th day of April in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2024. Yesterday was Clean Comedy Day, and I just would point out Jim Gaffigan has added a 6th show
Has he
at the
really?
Eccles in October.
Yeah.
A 6th show. It's National Zipper Day today. There are many, many different stories about who invented the zipper. At one time, it was called the automatic continuous clothing closure, the hookless fastener. The term zipper was coined by B.F. Goodrich in 1923 because of the sound it makes when you use it.
It's an onomatopoeia, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's World Wish Day for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and International Dance Day celebrating all forms of dance. And Whiskey River Flow on right to the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson. I'm Handsome Bill Allred. That's Gina Barberi, country music expert extraordinaire. Katie, for short, is our fine, fine producer. She's in the booth behind me, along with Macy and the dog, Vax, who, curled up, sleeping.
Nice. All right.
Well, we have 2 dogs here today.
Yes.
Hudson's here, too.
All right, so let's go to Steve.
Oh, Steve, where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Hey.
US 89.
Okay.
We just opened US 89.
Yeah, it was
just
closed
a shout
all
out
weekend.
to everybody listening.
Okay.
US 89 southbound is now open.
Okay, good. That was closed most of the weekend, I guess, huh?
Yes, it was.
It was such a pain trying to get back from Ogden to Salt Lake this weekend.
Now, when you say we just opened it, or did you have something to do with that?
Traffic control.
Ah.
We're the ones who closed the road.
Why was it closed in the first place, Steve? I forget. I heard, but I can't remember.
They were laying a new water pipeline.
Yeah, that's right, for Uinta, I think.
Yes, and it'll be closed next weekend a little bit further south at 193.
Okay. Well, thanks for the update, Steve, and
Yes.
keep us apprised of that kind of stuff. We like that. Thank you.
I most definitely will.
All right.
Thank you.
See you later.
All right, let's go to Mike.
Mike in Syracuse, what's up with you today?
Hi, guys. I just wanted to say spring is great. We had our first family barbecue yesterday. Took my patio furniture out of hibernation and fired up the smoker and had some grilled chicken, some brats, and burgers, and sat outside and enjoyed the spring blossoms.
Did you have a lot of family members over?
Yeah, we had my wife's parents and her sister and her nephews over, and we celebrated my daughter's birthday and her sister's birthday, and
Nice.
had a good time. And I just want to put a plug in for Don's Meats. If you have a Don's Meats near you, they really have some high-quality meats for grilling.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
That's good to know.
Okay, thanks. Love
Thanks.
the show.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Dawn's Meat.
A plug for Dawn's Meats.
All righty then. Let's see. Mark in the middle checking in, putting on my S kickers as we speak. Let's see.
Go kick some ass then.
Yes. Dan, the driver, checking in, delivering mulch again to the Ogden Costco this time. Zane checking in on my way to work. Went to a friend's on Saturday, then watched a lot of West Wing yesterday with the wife.
Apparently there's a Dawn's Meats in Syracuse and in Centerville and in Sunset.
All right.
Dawn's Meats.
A chain of meat.
Well, meat chain.
A meat chain.
Mr. and Mrs. Ron the Carpenter checking in. We look good for 6 a.m. Gerald, the Omaha nurse, checking in. I missed the safety of Utah mountains last Friday. Plenty of tornado damage to the west and north of the metro, including one death. Only wind and hail for us in the South Metro. Feeling thankful. Pittsburgh listener Mauricio Paez checking in. Lovely weather out here. Mid-80s most of the week. Looking forward to that. Valley Forge, Pennsylvania checking in. Officially turned the outdoor water back on over the weekend for the season. Dan of Evanston checking in. Big week for us. Heading to the East Coast to attend our son's graduation from law school finally. Johnny B checking in, listening while taking my Stay Alive pills and getting ready to eat a Cadbury cream egg.
How lovely.
Meshach checking in, already in my office working and wishing it was Friday. Mitch, the finance guy, checking in from Pleasant Grove, starting the day off with some coffee, blueberry muffins, and listening to Radio from Hell.
Oh.
Let's get this going. Perry City listener checking in. The cabinets are in. Just waiting for the countertops and baseboards to be installed. Excited to finish this thing up. Cardboard Chris checking in. Jello Salad Annie.
Hey, Annie.
Checking in. Your segments with Jimmy Santangelo really make me want to start drinking again, but I got to stay sober.
Well, good. Yeah, if it's that's the way it's got to be, then just don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm. I was working at the Maverick Center on Saturday. They had some entrepreneurial convention.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
I had to listen to Sean Reyes and Trump Jr. speak.
Yeah. Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like an AlphaCon kind of thing?
It was called Limitless. It was the Limitless Arena, and I got a story about it here. All of these people, Sean Reyes is among them. Don Jr. was supposed to be there. Did she say that?
That's what
they
said,
there? Yeah. All of these people that, Jimmy Rex, founder of We Are They.
We Are They?
Yeah.
What is that?
TV host, author, and investor, Renee Rodriguez. Just on and on and on.
The grift, it just never ends.
Yeah.
Let's see. Farrell Fergal checking in. Can confirm Don's Meats is where it's at.
I'm
We have confirmation.
I'm on their website, and I'm going to go there. I got to go there.
Cost Bro checking in. I'm working the night shift. Woke up just in time for Radio from Hell.
You want to go in on half a Black Angus with me, Carrie?
Half a cow?
That's
I got half a pig in my freazer now.
400 pounds.
I got no room, so.
All right. Yeah, they
traffic.
I was going to mention that 89 opened, but Infiniteam has assembled early to let us know that.
Mm-hmm.
Is down to one lane of traffic, though, so it's open, but will probably be slow going this morning. No accidents to report. Maybe you have some to report. You can let us know, 33986.
Thank you very much. We will take a break. We'll be back after these messages and a song with Big Boy News. And Frank Christ presents They're Fine, They're Just Fine, the Dead Celebrity Game. We'll explain coming up.
Best question of the week. It's pretty simple. You need to send us questions about anything.
Yeah.
You email them to us, radiofromhell@x96.com. Put best question in the subject line. You don't text in the best question because we don't keep track of the text. If it's an email, we can save it and answer it on Fridays. Sometimes we will have a fabulous prize to give away. Let's see. Question today.
Okay.
Well, I have two we can do.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see. This is from Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
Melanie asks, have you ever gotten any pushback from the Mormon Church for things you talk about on the Radio from Hell show?
Not from the church itself.
Not
no.
directly, no.
No, from members.
Sometimes.
Never any official.
No.
No.
One of the biggest complaints was years ago when we did Your Guide to Living in Utah. That sketch, and we would do it once a week, I think. And we used the theme song. For the theme song, we used "Come, Come, Ye Saints," right?
That wasn't me.
Was that with Dom?
That was Dom.
Yeah. I got a lot of letters about that.
Really?
Not from the church, but from listeners.
Yeah.
They said it was sacrilegious.
Okay, whatever.
That's that one.
All right.
Let's see. This one is from Brian, who's been listening since 1992, he says.
Okay.
All right.
What was one positive or negative thing that someone said to you that motivates you in your personal or professional lives?
Something negative. Somebody said something negative to me, which motivated me. It's a story that sprang to my mind immediately. The first night I ever was at a radio station, working at a radio station.
Oh.
I was working overnight, and I screwed everything up. Because, as is still the tradition today, we put people in charge of things that we don't train them to do.
Yeah.
And nobody really trained me very well of how to do what I did.
Baptism by fire.
And at one point, I was there. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I had like 10 things playing on the radio at once. You know, commercials and songs all mixed up together.
You screwed it up.
And I didn't know how to fix it. I had to call the boss. He talked me through it. The morning guy came in at 6 o'clock. He says, I heard you had a bad night last night. I said, yeah, it was really terrible. He says, well, I guess some people aren't cut out to be in radio. And I just went under my breath, you son of I'll show you. And I did.
I mean, to be fair, that's what overnights are for.
Yeah.
Is you can make all your mistakes there, or that's what small market radio stations are for.
Yeah.
Go there and make all your mistakes there and get better.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it should be for. I had mine is actually quite similar because I knew I wanted to do it, and there was a small radio station where I grew up in Spanish Fork. It's still there. It's the Hare Krishna station now, but it was country at the time. And I was friends with a kid, Rhett Neal, and I was the only friend he had because, well, he was Baptist, and you know, the rest of the Mormon moms wouldn't let their kids play with him.
Oh.
And my mom was just happy I had a friend.
Right.
So
Your mom was
and
right.
it turns out that Rhett's dad bought the radio station. And I thought, well, I got an in.
Sure.
You know, there you go. It'll be easy. So I went out there and I said, Mr. Neal, I want to work. I want to work at the radio station. I want to be on the radio. He said, Carrie, you're like family, so I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Just your voice is too high to be on the radio. This was the time of the boss jock. This was the had to talk like this. Yeah.
There are some people who still think that.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, that if you have a higher voice, if you're a man, you shouldn't be on the radio.
And I just went, ooh, I'll show you.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll flip it a little. This isn't a positive comment, but it's a positive experience.
Okay.
I'm in the 3rd grade.
Okay.
Still? I'm sorry.
This is where I got my first laugh.
Your first laugh?
Oh.
You did something that
Yes.
got a laugh. I got it.
3rd grade, we had a presentation to make to the parents. We had a little stage at the front of the room, and the room was full of parents waiting to make the presentation. And I got up to the podium, and I said, before I start, I have to pull up my knee socks, because my mom told me before I came up here to make sure my socks were all the way up to my knees. Excuse me for a minute, and I pulled my socks, and laughter from the parents.
I wonder why. That's not very funny.
Excuse me, my mom said to make sure I pull my
I get
socks up. And I'm like, that feels good.
That was your first public laugh?
Yeah, when everybody, that's a good feeling.
Has that ever happened again?
Nope, I'm still waiting.
You set me up nicely sometimes.
Right there on the tee.
Yeah. That's I'm just trying to think if there have been. I've had people say positive things to me that really have encouraged me
you know
along
what?
the way.
You guys were positive for me when I first came to your show, not trying to get a job, just as a guest on your show, and you both encouraged me to come back. So you were my.
Yeah, we knew you'd be good eventually.
Still waiting again?
We're waiting. We're waiting. You know, but we're patient. Carrie and I are both very patient.
You have to be.
This is going to pay off at some point.
It will someday.
In this business, you have to be. That good? I guess that's good. Sure. All right. If you have questions, send them Radio from Hell at x96.com. Put best question in the subject line. Because
you might be surprised after listening to it. In 1982, Adam Ant and Marco Perrone were named Songwriters of the Year for their #1 hit, Stand and Deliver. This is in England.
Songwriters
of the Year. For Stand and Deliver, released as the lead single from their third studio album, Prince Charming. And Live at the Eccles presents Adam Ant and English Beat, Sunday, May 5th at the Eccles Theater. You can find ticket information at x96.com. And Todd Newcomb has tickets to give away all week long.
Excellent. Okay, in this break, big boy news and opinioendo. Right after that, right into Frank Christ presents They're Fine, They're Just Fine. It's our Dead Celebrity game. Going to give you a list of 4 celebrity names. 3 of those celebrities are fine, just fine. 1 of them dead. Pick the dead one correctly, you'll win
a prize from the drawer in Katie's studio. It's some sort of extra special. Oh, it's going to be great. Whatever it is, here she's getting it out of.
You're really selling that.
Well, I don't know what it is. It's something. It's a mug. What's the mug say?
Oh, it's
not our mug. It's
an mug.
What does it say on it?
Oh, somebody made this for me. You can have it though. Insert random sign off here mug.
Okay.
877-602-9696 is the number to call to play. Frank Christ presents They're Fine, They're Just Fine. You can...
Well, I'm just going to burn the phones up with that prize.
You can call now or wait till the news is over. It's up to you. 877-602-9696. News now brought to you by...
The elite aesthetics team at Canyons Medical Center focused on 3 cutting-edge skin therapy devices for younger, healthier skin. Visit canyonsmedical.com. Go to the services menu for details.
French police on Monday detained screen legend and hugely fat man Gerard Depardieu for questioning after 2 women accused him of sexual assault. The 75-year-old actor, who has made more than 200 films and TV series, was charged with rape back in 2020 and was forced to put his career on hold last autumn as allegations of sexual harassment and assault mounted against him.
I was going to say, I don't need to know anything more about this story. He did it.
Yeah.
Police were to question Depardieu over 2 women alleging that he assaulted them on a film set in 2021 and the other on a shoot in 2014. The actor's lawyers, Christian Saint-Palais and Beatrice Geisman-Achille, did not immediately reply to a request for comment. The first woman accused him of assaulting her when she was a member of the crew on a 22 feature film called The Green Shutters. And then another woman, the set designer, filed a formal complaint against him. He has faced charges like this before, and he has made comments that said he doesn't believe that rape is wrong.
Yeah, he's a real turd.
Mm-hmm.
Gerard Depardieu. Well, Zendaya proved that people really want to see her, and really want to see her having sex, because apparently there's a lot of it in the movie #1 at the box office, Challengers. It made $15 million and went #1. Unsung Hero was next. Oh, that's that Christian faith-based movie, which is actually getting good reviews all over the place. It's very, very sincere and very well done. Godzilla versus Kong is #3.
Still in the top 5.
Civil War, $7 million, still #4. Abigail, number 5. Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is 6. Kung Fu Panda. Ghostbusters is still in the top 10. Dune.
Have you seen that yet?
Not yet, no.
And Boy Kills World, number 10.
Oh, no, I heard Alien was number 10.
I know Alien was in there somewhere, but this says it was number. Let's see if it mentions.
They re-released it.
Yeah.
Or maybe they didn't count it because it's a re-release. Maybe.
I think that may be the case.
Apparently
It did
all
very
right.
well, though. Did quite well.
I watched it. Not in the theater. I stayed home.
because you have it.
At the Republican convention this weekend, a last-minute endorsement by former President Trump sent Riverton Mayor Trent Staggs to the Senate primary, while State Representative Phil the Bully Lyman, locked in his challenge to Governor Spencer Cox. The results demonstrate party loyalist support for the far-right Republicans over more moderate candidates, including incumbent Governor Cox. Given Utah's Republican lean, Republican primary winners are likely to win statewide races in November. The 4,000 delegates convened Saturday at the event in downtown Salt Lake. Staggs has represented Blanding since 2019. He's been mayor of Riverton. I misread that. Staggs has been a mayor of Riverton. Lyman has represented Blanding. Each received nearly 70% of delegate support in the final round of voting. Spencer Cox was booed.
Yep.
I had changed my voting affiliation from Republican back to Democrat. I'm going to change it back to Republican again because if Phil Lyman becomes the governor of this state, we should all move.
Yeah.
Call him Felon Phil. Call him that.
Phil the Felon?
Phil the Felon. He's a bully and a jerk. And if Staggs becomes senator, that's terrible.
Bad.
Matt Gaetz is his buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he received a last-minute endorsement from Donald Trump.
I wonder how much that cost him.
And he's had a lot of problems as well. Staggs, let's see, it'll be Staggs,
John Curtis,
Brad Wilson, and the bug killer guy.
Somebody that owns a pest control.
Yeah, he owns a pest control business.
It was frightening. So Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson tweeted out. She brought like her daughters or granddaughters, I think, and she said, "I am so embarrassed for how my party behaved because apparently they were vile and vulgar and scary.
They were MAGA."
They were MAGA.
It was a MAGA rally.
That's what it's become.
And that is your party.
So
that's who they are.
So here's Trent Staggs. This is an article Gina sent me from the Daily Mail, the British publication. It says a right-wing Utah Senate candidate was once tapped to lead a company that was shut down after the FDA alleged it falsely marketed its natural Viagra product. Trent Staggs, and it says here, a member of the Mormon Church making a bid for the Senate to replace Mitt Romney, brands himself as a classic Utah success story. Well, I think that's probably true. The company was Regenica, and they were selling what they said was natural erectile dysfunction medications. They did not disclose that there was actually some
Cialis. It worked really well.
There was actually Cialis and Viagra in the medication, which they did not disclose. And also the Utah County Sheriff's Department has called out Senate candidate Trent Staggs. They accuse him of releasing a naive and uninformed statement in response to a federal memo purportedly designating Utah a sanctuary state for immigration.
Not what it said at all.
This is not. It's not true, and he's just doing it to make himself look better.
Yeah.
Let's go to the crime desk now. There was a brutal murder out in West Valley City. I believe Gina Barberi is here with that story.
Yeah, a man was arrested Friday after his father was found dead, and police said he confessed to killing him in a disturbing manner. West Valley police said they responded in West Valley. A person who called said they saw 46-year-old Jeremy Ross Pulver fleeing the scene. As he did so, he told them that he beat his dad to death. Officers and first responders then found Jeremy's father, John Culver, and confirmed that he had died. Jeremy was later found and taken into custody. When they interviewed him, he said he was staying with his dad since Wednesday, and his dad expressed that he wanted to die. On Friday, Jeremy worked up the confidence to kill John. He told them that he initially tried to suffocate his dad, but his dad fought back, and then he grabbed a hatchet. I've never heard this before, but he said after that he filled his dad's mouth with baking soda because he learned that was a method to ensure that someone was dead. I've never heard that.
Well, that
before.
it would suffocate,
It'd suffocate you more, I guess.
I guess.
Yep. Boy, that's. And were there any developments in the Daybell case?
The only interesting development is so Chad is broke. Poor Chad Daybell's broke.
Oh.
His defense attorney, you might remember a month or so ago, went to the judge and said, I would like to be released from this case because he can't pay me.
Oh.
Well, we found out how Chad has paid him. He signed over his property in Idaho. Now, I don't know that this is good payment because this is the property where the kids were found.
This is the murder property.
Yeah, this is the murder property. I don't know how much murder property is worth, but it came out.
I think it makes it worth more, doesn't it?
Well, in Idaho, for sure.
Came out that that's how he paid. So that was the main thing that came out of Friday.
Tornadoes that tore across Oklahoma left a wide trail of destruction yesterday, leveling homes and buildings and knocking out power for tens of thousands of residents. At least 4 people were killed, including a child. Dozens of reported tornadoes have wreaked havoc in the nation's midsection since Friday, with flood watches and warnings in effect Sunday for Oklahoma and other states, including Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Texas. In Oklahoma, a tornado ripped through Holdenville, a town of about 5,000 people, late Saturday, killing 2 people and injuring 4 others. The destruction was houses were demolished, road signs were bent to the ground. This community is about 80 miles from Oklahoma City. Let's see what else we have here. How much time do we have?
Oh, you're fine. You got a couple of minutes.
Okay. American Edward J. Dwight Jr., the first black astronaut candidate, will realize his dreams of spaceflight at the age of 90, decades now after he was recommended to NASA under the Kennedy administration, when he's going to get on board Blue Origin's first crewed spaceflight since the company last launched in August of 2022. The space firm founded by Jeff Bezos announced the 6-member flight on April 4th, or they announced it on April 4th, and said the launch date would be soon. Dwight said space at his age is a curiosity more than anything else, and said that the company called him up and they said, are you interested in going into space? And I said, well, yeah. I wanted to do it a long time ago. He will fly on the Blue Origin's 25th mission with New Shepard, along with Mason Angel, Sylvain Caron, Kenneth Hess. I don't know who any of these people are. Carol Schaller rings a bell. Carol Schaller and Gopi Thakura. So, and then finally this story. Ashley Mace's class tried to reassure the oldest of her 3 kids when she first started reporting that there were monsters in her room. She was saying she heard monsters in her bedroom wall. But we'd been watching Monsters, Inc., Ashley explains, and she was a little speech delayed, so when she tried explaining it, we thought she meant that there were monsters in her closet, like in Monsters, Inc. And then the toddler started to have night terrors. She was just freaking out. She had to stay in our room, and she kept saying there were monsters. We thought, in part, that she was experiencing a little regression, since I had just had a baby in February and was pregnant and tired before that. Then a few weeks ago, Ashley and her husband noticed a few bees entering their attic. Since they live in a 100-year-old farmhouse, they decided to get ahead and called a pest control company. Once they were informed they were honeybees, they had to take a different approach. The couple thought it would be simple. You just get a beekeeper and patch the hole they come through, and that would be the end. Yeah. But beekeeper after beekeeper was like, no, they're not in the house yet. They drilled a hole in our attic. They said they didn't see anything. It wasn't until a beekeeper actually sat there and observed and was like, okay, I see them going down the floorboards. He opened up the wall of my daughter's bedroom, and it was one of the biggest hives he's ever seen in his 40-year career. 50,000 bees swarming like crazy in my daughter's bedroom.
She wasn't dreaming.
It was a nightmare. They were dropping honey everywhere, all over her stuff. The beekeeper was able to remove 20,000 bees and a 100-pound chunk of honeycomb, but there's more. They still have to get more of them out of there. But they said, "We found the monsters. You were right."
Oh, believe kids.
And then when they introduced her to the beekeeper, and they said, "He's a monster hunter." So she calls him Mr. Monster Hunter.
Oh.
All right, that's it.
Weather, traffic.
Okay, so today we'll have a really nice day, actually. High of 70. There'll be a slight chance of afternoon showers, but most of the day it should be mostly sunny. We cool down a little bit tomorrow, down to 62, and then we stay in the upper 50s, low 60s for most of the week. But the only chance of rain, it looks like, might be late tonight into tomorrow, and then we're pretty clear most of the week, it looks like. Traffic, we heard from Infinity member about Highway 89 up north being opened. It is open, but there is only one southbound lane open, so that is going to make for some slow going still through there. Another Infinity member says there is a wreck at the intersection of Antelope and Main Street in Layton. Lots of police on the scene there. Thank you for sending that in via text at 33986. Do you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, multiple unfiled years? Contact the IRS experts McClure and Stewart for a free consultation. Go to McClureandStewart.com today.
He's here in the studio, the Cadaver King himself.
Oh,
Frank Christ, the Reaper of Celebrity Souls.
oh, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine. I'm just fine, Frank.
Oh, that's good.
I'm glad you ask me that every time because I'm fine. I'm just fine. Frank is here. He is the Grim Reaper who goes and when a celebrity dies, Frank is dispatched. Do you have a pager or something? What do you?
Well, there's a series of pneumatic tubes.
Ah.
And that's usually where they send the first notice. Now, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
out of my apartment, then I have a pager, as you can see.
Oh, yes, right there. It's attached to the rope belt of your
Exactly.
of your robe.
It's the old school technology, never fails.
That pneumatic tubes and pagers.
Yes.
Frank reaps the souls of celebrities, and that's very awful for him because, well, Frank loves our precious celebrities.
Don't we all love our precious
Well,
celebrities?
I do.
Sure.
Don't we all want to be just like them?
I sure do.
Oh.
Frank plays a game every week with us, every weekday. It's called Frank Chris Presents.
They're fine. They're just fine.
He's given me a list of 4 celebrities. One of the celebrities Frank has taken, but the other 3 on the list,
they're just fine.
And we have a contestant to play.
Karen is here.
Karen, good morning. How are you?
Oh, well, I'm fine. I'm just fine.
Oh, good to hear,
Good, Karen. That's good. Karen, I'm going to read you this list of celebrities. You identify the deceased celebrity, the one that Frank has taken, and you will win a prize, which is what, that mug?
A fine mug.
What does it say on it?
Insert random sign off here.
All right, Karen, does that sound good?
It sounds wonderful.
All right, here we go. You identify the dead celebrity. Because it's an International Dance Day, these are all actors in movies about the dance and dancing. Here we go. Number 1, Anita Gillette. Her Broadway shows were Gypsy, Carnival, Guys and Dolls, They're Playing Our Song, Mr. President, and Cabaret. She was nominated for a Tony Award for Neil Simon's Chapter 2. On TV, she was Quincy's second wife on the last season of Quincy M.E., and she was on Search for Tomorrow. Her dance movie is a romantic comedy called Shall We Dance? Number 1, Anita Gillette. Number 2, Susanna York. Her early films included The Green Gage Summer and Freud. Other film appearances, A Man for All Seasons, The Killing of Sister George, Jane Eyre, and Superman. Her dance movie is about dance marathons called They Shoot Horses, Don't They?, for which she was nominated for an Oscar. Number 2, Susanna York. Number 3, Caroline Rhea, actress and stand-up comedian who played Hilda Spellman in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She voiced Linda Flynn Fletcher in the Disney animated series Phineas and Ferb. She was in a cult classic movies Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire and Christmas with the Cranks and The Perfect Man. She's in a dance movie called Love and Dancing. Not and. Love and Dancing. Number 3, Caroline Rhea. And finally, number 4, John Leguizamo, who began as a stand-up comedian in New York City. He was Luigi in Super Mario Brothers. He was also in the crime drama Carlito's Way. He was a drag queen in Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. He was also in Romeo plus Juliet, The Pest, and Summer of Sam. He is Toulouse-Lautrec in a movie full of dancing, Moulin Rouge. Number 4, John Leguizamo. So which one of those actors is dead, Karen?
I'm going to shoot for Anita Gillette.
Anita Gillette is correct. No, it isn't correct.
No, she's fine.
She's
She's
fine.
just fine.
I was.
You
She's
got
87.
excited there, Bill.
Yeah, I was thinking she was gone because she's 87. I'll give you another chance.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
now, here we go, Karen. Get ready. Is it Susanna York, Caroline Ray, or John Leguizamo?
My second choice was Suzanne York.
Yes, she died in 2011 at the age of 72. Congratulations, you have won that mug.
It's a great mug.
Yes, sure is.
It's a fine, fine mug.
Karen, where are you calling from?
Treasure it, yes.
Where are you calling?
Well, I'm in Maryland right now.
Maryland. So
she's going to fly here and
will you fly? You'll fly out here and get the mug?
No, we're going to drive. We're headed west.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Okay. Good.
I'm coming all the way to pick it up.
All right. All right. Be careful on the road, Karen.
I will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hang on. Oh, that's a long way to go for a mug.
Yeah, especially
It's
that
a good,
one.
No, it's a good mug.
Yeah, it's a great mug.
Oh, well, you already celebrated Willie Nelson's birthday.
Yeah.
91
Yeah.
today.
Wow.
91. Has anyone seen Kate Mulgrew
Oh, no.
or Jerry Seinfeld? Both 70 today.
Oh, well. Go check on Kate.
I'll go check on Kate. Who was it that was on the list that I need to check on?
Anita Gillette is
Anita
87.
Gillette. I better go check on her before anybody else. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Looks like all southbound lanes on 89 are open now, and you got nothing to worry about. Now, if you see something that's worrying, concerning, you think, oh, I need to tell everybody about this thing that happened, you can text it to us, 33986. Become a nurse in just 32 months at Nightingale College, blending online classes with on-ground supervised field experience, virtual college, actual nursing. Start your nursing journey at nightingale.edu, now accepting enrollment for summer semester.
All right, we will take a break. We will be back. Amy Donaldson has sports right after this. Stand by. KXRK Provo.
Again, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Because the baby goat was egregious, and it was a cute goat.
It pulls at the heartstrings, but number one he's a monster.
Goats are adorable. I like watching videos of the little baby goats in pajamas jumping around. Yeah. But don't look at their eyes too closely.
They go crosswise.
They got creepy eyes.
That's why people think they're satanic.
Yes.
I was walking through my neighborhood once. Oh, this has been several years ago now, and for some reason, somebody had two baby goats in their front yard, and we stopped and kind of played with them, and what they liked to do the most was butt you.
Oh yeah,
they with their heads. They were all into that, and I mean these were just little, by the size of a dog.
Oh yeah,
little baby goats. They were cute as hell, but would you knock it off? Jeez.
Oh, they don't stop at all.
Uh-uh.
Me and my wife were visiting her parents in Vernal recently, and they had some friends who recently had baby goats, which are just kids, right?
Well, that's what they call them.
Yeah, they were doing the same thing. They were I mean, they didn't go above my knee, but they just kept running into my shin. They were nipping on every little edge of my clothes, and they're adorable as hell, though.
Now, I've never been around fainting goats, but a salesperson who used to work with us, Pam, had fainting goats.
She had some.
And she lives up in the Park City area, and I never got to see them. But, they actually, when if you make a noise or come at them, they faint.
Or say a swear.
Maybe if you use...
Oh, that's different. That's a pearl-clutching goat. That's a different one.
Yeah.
That's mostly the legislature.
The outrage goat.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think that's just so interesting that they've... And I guess it's a response of they like playing dead. Well, you won't do anything to me if I play dead.
Oh, so they're not actually fainting.
They are kind of.
They're feigning the fainting.
Well, no. They actually do kind of black out.
Go to YouTube and look up fainting goats. and you'll see what we're talking
It's
about.
very odd.
I'll spend the rest of the show doing this.
And then
And I don't think they get very big, do they? Aren't they
I
just
don't think
little?
so. I think they're small.
Yeah.
They're a smaller breed of goat.
But goats, they do have creepy eyes.
Yeah.
Very creepy.
It's the eyes.
And they can be pretty nasty too. Pretty mean.
Oh, they can be mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at a best of fainting goats
Yeah.
compilation.
Oh, it's
Of
wonderful,
course,
isn't it?
mashup.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat room just put a GIF of one in there now. There's
okay.
a big goat scaring a small herd of the little goats.
Oh.
And the little goats, most of them just drop.
Oh, I
That's so
see. I
funny.
see. It's the little brother tactic where you lay down on the ground and you're like, you won't hit me if I'm here.
Boom. They do. They just drop. Boom. It's quite amusing.
Evil eyes, though.
And I think Ham said it's really not nice to.
No.
You can make them do it, but you shouldn't.
Julie says their muscles seize up.
Mm. That
I
one
guess they
does-
get so scared they just go.
That one looks pretty stiff when he falls
Yeah,
down.
their legs are stiff and their back is arched. Like they can't move, obviously. But
Pearl clutching goats are part of Nanny Nation.
Ah, there
Nanny
you go.
goats.
I got
You
it.
see.
That's pretty good.
Thank you, Texter.
That's good.
Six.
Mike in Highland wants to know sports, and I said it's a good thing Amy Donaldson is here. She can
There's-
tell you Highland sports.
There's no GH in Highland, is there?
Yeah,
There is?
yeah.
Okay.
HIGHLAND Highland.
I know it's surprising.
Just make sure.
Yeah.
You know, Utah spelling.
Mhm.
Is sports brought to us by anybody?
Live at the Eccles presents Adamant and the English Beat Sunday, May 5th at the Eccles Theater. Information and ticket links are all at x96.com. Tune in to Todd Newcomb all week long to win tickets.
Amy Donaldson Sports. Break.
Well, here she is. She is a sports reporter. She is a crime reporter. She is a podcaster. Her new podcast, well, it's a continuation of her podcast, The Letter. This is the second season. Of The Letter. And get it wherever podcasts are sold. It's, again, about people who are impossibly
kinder
forgiving.
than me. That's what I say.
Impossibly forgiving.
Yeah. So, so it's episode 3 drops tomorrow, and it's a much more complicated story than the first season, and it's been interesting. So I had I have been doing my sports thing for it's sort of off and on for a couple years on a high school story, and it has been breaking lately. And last week there was a big movement.
Tell people what it is.
So I've been looking into international students coming here and attending Utah high schools for sports.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's not unusual. And Wasatch Academy sort of came under fire in the early 2000s for this. And I think it was around 2008, 2009, they went independent. So they just left the association, and then they openly recruit kids from around the country and around the world to play basketball, and then the rest of their sports are inside the association. Because if you're an association member, you cannot recruit. So one of the things I've been looking into is there's a real rise in these international students coming here. How are they coming? Why? And is there recruiting going on? And the association has been conducting their own investigation for the last, I'd say 2 months, 3 months.
Okay.
And what I found was pretty disturbing, and they're kind of outside the normal international student program. And I wrote a story in March, and then I wrote a story about a month later about some changes to the visa rules within the association. And that basically the rule change is if you come on an F1 visa, which means you can go to like a private school, like a Catholic school or a Christian school, you can come for a number of years, not just 1 year. If you come on a J1 visa, you go to a public school. You don't pick your host family. You don't pick your school. So those students would not be eligible for varsity sports, or the school could choose to use them for varsity sports but not participate in the playoffs. Or they could go independent like Wasatch Academy. So it's caused this big uproar, and now they're changing the transfer rules, which will greatly impact high school sports. There's another hearing on that Wednesday. So if you want to follow that, it's on KSL.com, and you can also follow on my Twitter, AD on Sports. And I just want to thank the South Summit high school students for my favorite Instagram post, where they photoshopped my head onto some other sports guy's body.
There's a real issue of fairness here, though.
Yeah, it's competitive balance, but I think more so for me is this idea that that these students are coming here and they're being told something, and I don't know who's making sure that they get what they are committing to.
Being promised.
Yeah, and there was an article by the National Federation in 2020 that said basically these kids come here and nobody's keeping track of them. We don't actually know how many are coming, what is the circumstance, and what's happening to them once they get here.
Yeah.
Unless they really succeed, you see them in college sports. So you see them both at BYU and at Utah, and I'm sure a lot of other places. But anyway, that's what I've been working on sports-wise, and if you want to follow me on...
Amy's got lots of irons in the fire.
Yeah.
If you'd like to see some of the iron she has in the fire, she's also working on that. What's going on in the world of sports?
In the world of sports, so we lost one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game, Candace Parker, retired on Instagram this weekend. She's a 2-time MVP, 2-time NCAA champ, 3-time WNBA champ, and 2-time Olympic gold medalist. I believe she's the only basketball player to ever do all of those things. In addition to just revolutionizing her position, she was a post player, but she could do everything. She was the first to. She won the slam dunk contest in the McDonald's All-American game as a high schooler.
Wow.
First woman to do that. She was the second woman to dunk in a WNBA game. First one being Lisa Leslie. Which is when I was covering, so that was amazing. But just an amazing person. And it's a huge loss. But she's had some foot issues, and I think she's had 10 surgeries.
How old is she?
She's been in the league 15 or 16
That's what I mean,
years,
maybe.
so mid-30s. Yeah. I mean, I think sports-wise, she's 90.
Yeah.
But the 10 procedures on the foot, I think, was the thing. And it's just a bummer because you have so much attention on the league right now with Caitlin Clark and company coming in, and for them to lose really one of the best players to ever play is kind of a bummer. She was supposed to play with the defending champs, the Las Vegas Aces. But she missed half the season last year with her foot injury. So
it's time.
She's gone. The NBA playoffs are also happening. The biggest news there is that Minnesota swept the Suns. Anthony Edwards, amazing, 22 years old, scored 40 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Yesterday, the Knicks beat the 76ers. They lead that series 3-1. Clippers and the Mavs are tied at 2-2. Celtics lead the Heat in that series 2-1. They play tonight at 5:30. And Denver leads the Lakers. If you want to see everyone making fun of LeBron, who's also one of the greatest players to ever play, but he's acting like he's not the greatest player to ever play.
He's not doing well?
Well, he's playing great. He's just acting like a baby. So every time he does anything petulant, that's what people report. So, but Denver leads 3-1. They'll probably eliminate them tonight at 8 p.m. And then OKC leads the Pelicans 3-0. They also play tonight, and probably not going to be good for them. Let's see. We had RSL. They beat Philadelphia 2-1. Super exciting. Let's see. This young man, his name is Alexandros Kitanis. He scored with less than a minute left in regulation off a defensive header. So the defender tried to head the ball out of the goal area, and he just dropped it to the ground, booted it right back into the corner. And there was maybe 15, 16 seconds left in regulation. RSL is now at the top of the Western Conference standings. 5 wins.
See that coming.
Yeah. If you did, you're a liar. So 5 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. Their last loss was March 9th. It's crazy how well they're doing. On the other side of the coin is my beloved Royals. We went to the game on Saturday. They did it in a draw, and it was lovely weather after like 16 days of rain. So it was cold, but it was nice weather. They play again Friday, Angel City. That's how we're celebrating my nephew's graduation from Salt Lake Community College, where my entire family is going to, I don't know, 20 people to the game.
Oh, fun.
They are number 13 in the Western Conference standings. So,
number 13.
Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, hopefully it gets a little better. Also, there was the NFL draft.
Yeah, lots of locals.
Tons.
Lots of
Yeah.
locals.
And I'll probably miss someone. So this is not a comprehensive list.
I was going to say there were so many.
But I think I got the Radio from Hell important one. So that's all.
All right.
This is tailored for you guys.
Right.
The Las Vegas Raiders selected Corner Canyon High School alum Jackson Powers Johnson. He's
very good.
He's one of your favorites, right? Am I
Yes.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Offensive
Bill's followed him all
Bill
along.
Bill is an offensive lineman connoisseur. You know,
His middle name is Powers. I mean, good heavens.
you know, yeah. So he was the first local to go, but his first local college player was Cole Bishop from the Utes. He goes to the Buffalo Bills as number 60. That was the second round. Very exciting for him.
They said Dalton Kincaid was in their ear going, you got to get Cole.
Yeah, I mean, and Dalton Kincaid's done really well there, so it'll be fun. And their defense needs to get better, like today. So, and Andy Reid, he got his LDS player. The Kansas City Chiefs select BYU Cougars offensive tackle.
Yes.
Kingsley Suamatai. Yeah.
That guy.
Number 63. So the Denver Broncos, they take Jonah Ellis, Utah defensive end, and he was number 76. He's a son of Luther Ellis, who also played.
First time father and son have both been drafted
by the same team. Yeah, very cool. Detroit Lions, they take Utah defensive back Sione Vaki.
You got to steal Detroit.
I know.
He can do
4th
it
round.
all.
He's going to be amazing. You're going to be hearing about this guy in the NFL. Amazing player. Seattle Seahawks, they select former Utah offensive lineman Satoa Luamea in the 6th round. And the Broncos, they also took another Ute, wide receiver Devon Vele in the 7th round. Mr. Irrelevant, though. I know it's what you've been waiting for because, remember, Brock Purdy was a Mr. Irrelevant, the quarterback for the 49ers.
Right.
So Alabama safety Jalen Key becomes the latest Mr. Irrelevant. He was the last pick of this draft. And let's see. Oh, where did he? Oh, he went to the Jets. So he's gonna. It will not be another success story. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, and it's that's all well and good, but thank God Andy Reid got his Mormon.
You know what? And his offensive lineman. You needed an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Thank you. Amy Donaldson, AD on Sports is her Twitter. You can go to podcast distributors.
Any podcast, yeah. And it is free. You don't have to buy it. You can buy the bonus content and hear Edward K. Brass, or you guys can invite him on and he can tell you stories directly.
Maybe we will.
The Letter is the podcast.
Thank you, Amy. All right. Traffic, please, Gina.
Let's see. We got a crash eastbound I-80. This is a mile east of the quarry. 132, milepost 132. Is that the only accident I'm seeing? I'm looking at the UDOT website. Let me check our message stream, see if anybody's sent in any traffic there. You can if you see something. 33986 is where you do that. The Elite Aesthetics team at Canyons Medical Center is focused on 3 cutting-edge skin therapy devices for younger, healthier skin. Visit canyonsmedical.com. Services menu, that's where you go. All the details are there.
All right.
We got boners coming up.
Yes.
Here are the candidates you'll be voting for this time. Number 1, because you want people to think you peed yourself. Boner candidate number 2, the morality police are on the watch in St. George. And boner candidate number 3, I think this is calculated to make her look even better to the MAGA world.
All right. Boner of the day, big boy news, all coming up after these messages and a song. Stand by.
Maybe we ought to have Katie or Dawson come in here and take a couple of pictures of this so we can post them. some time last week we were talking about bubble gum and blowing bubbles with bubble gum, and Gina said, "Well, I'll get some bubble gum and bring it in. We'll and do it." And she didn't do it, but I happened to glance down at when I was checking some groceries out last night and saw this package of bubble yum. So we're going to see what.
I prefer a Hubba Bubba myself.
I haven't seen Hubba Bubba. Is it around?
I think so.
I'm so out of practice.
That was a pretty good one I just did. Did you get that?
Let me try.
I'm going to have you judge, Katie, who manages to blow the biggest bubble. This show is so damn political. I can't.
I know, right?
God, it's terrible.
Oh, let me try again.
Maybe we ought to blow bubbles while we bitch about Trump.
Damn.
You know what? He's a non-issue. His candidates didn't win, except for here. I'm not bitching about him anymore.
We want bubbles here.
All right.
Let's try him.
That was a good one. This is terrible radio.
That's as big as I can. That's why I want Katie to take some
I'm out of
pictures
practice.
and post them really quick. If
Come
you
on,
go to
Gina, I want to see that
X96,
double bubble that you talked about.
x96.com/live, you can see us doing this if you really want to.
Oh.
Yeah, you said a bubble inside of a bubble.
I'll do it. I haven't blown bubbles in a long time, but remember when you didn't believe me that I could do a pogo stick?
Yeah.
It's like that.
I'm still not sure.
That's a good one, Bill.
What was that noise?
I was trying to get her attention. I couldn't say, "Hey, Katie," because I had a huge bubble.
So you did a mosquito sound?
Yeah, something. Yeah, this is really good radio, isn't it?
I'm going to try to do the... Oh, Carrie did it.
That's one. You blow one inside of us? Was that
sure,
one?
as far as you know.
So far, Bill is winning on his sizes.
Size.
I'm way out of practice. This is the first bubble gum I've actually had in my mouth, I think, in...
Me too.
40 years.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
Yeah, see, I don't chew gum, so...
I'm not doing them very big, so I'll try to do one inside the other. How about that?
Okay.
Do that.
I've always been
I'm
known
gonna
as...
get close.
I've always been known as the size king.
Yep. Here we are with our Soros money in our pockets and our liberal agenda. So political.
Can you tell? You can kind of see it. Oh, I did it.
Gina's gum just now fell out of her mouth and onto the floor.
Onto the floor?
See it? I did it.
Did you catch it before it went on the floor?
I did. It'll have to be a very zoomed in photo.
Yeah.
You want another piece? Here.
I give her 2 pieces, see if she can do them. Because that's too much for me.
No, there's you can do a bigger one.
I bet I'm going to try. I'm going to do a second piece of gum and see if I can blow an even bigger bubble because I've got a pretty big one there.
I would only imagine.
This all started. I don't think I started because when I was in grade school, I won a bubble gum blowing contest.
Well, you're a pro then. This isn't fair.
It was
you're a professional. You shouldn't be competing with the amateurs.
That's true.
Is that correct?
I won a bag of marbles.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Oh, it was great.
Do you still have those marbles?
No.
He lost them.
Yeah, you're right.
Listen, I lost my marbles years ago.
Here comes Gina.
Well, this is a new piece. I got to work it in.
Oh, you're starting a whole new piece?
She dropped it on her shoe.
Oh, come on.
You didn't drop it on the floor. It fell out of your yap.
You should have did 2 pieces.
What is the flavor of bubble gum?
It's its own flavor.
Yeah, what is it?
It's gross.
What is it?
Yeah. It's distinctly bubble gum, but where it originated from, I don't know.
I don't know.
I know when you smell it or when you taste it, you go, "That's bubble
Who
gum."
decided that's what bubble? What
yeah, who decided that is the flavor?
Gum?
I'm gonna.
Yeah, what is the flavor?
Do some research. There's 25 calories in each piece of this gum.
Yeah.
Bubblegum flavor is a combination of artificial, of course, strawberry, banana, cherry, orange, and lemon.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of all mixed.
You can taste, and if you think about it, you can taste all those things in it.
The banana is I can. Wow. Okay.
I
That awkward moment when you can't tell if the segment is about blowing bubbles in gum or trying to connect with the ancestors and summon a demon by mistake.
Yep.
That happens.
That was that noise that Bill made.
All right, now I'm just hearing weird noises, and I think I'm getting called to take photos here.
I'm done.
My jaw's getting tired.
Yeah.
It's just not working.
Did you do
You saw
one?
it happen, though, right?
I saw it happen. Yes.
So you blow a bubble, and then you seal it off,
Mm-hmm.
and then you blow another bubble, and it'll go inside.
I can't get this piece real. I added more gum, and I can't quite get it
I don't know what to tell you.
to the consistency.
I
Now
have no
you
idea.
made a pronouncement, Katie. I don't chew gum.
I don't.
Ever?
It was like
No.
it's like the
Wait a minute,
woman yesterday in the soda line
With
that
the
said, "I
soda
don't
line.
drink soda."
Yeah.
Wait a minute, let's explore that.
Yeah, why
I
don't
Like
you?
even like a little tiny piece
No,
of mint
I
gum?
don't like the texture. I don't like the smacking of it. No.
Oh, you
If
wanna
I'm
try
gonna
that?
do that, I'm gonna have mints.
Okay.
Mints
Really?
are my way to go. I've never liked gum. I think it's gross, and then people are dumb and they take it out and they stick it underneath things.
That's true.
And it's gross. It's not healthy. It's gross. It's gross, guys. It's gross.
It's the jaw
about-
exercise, though.
What about the reverse bubble? Can you do that?
Oh, Sue does that all
What's
the time.
that?
She'll do that snappy
Yeah.
sound.
See, these are all things that you don't do with mints that I enjoy, like not making sounds.
You can't blow bubbles with mints.
No,
At all.
you can't. No.
Well, unless you're really talented, you might be able to.
Well, I'm getting notice from our consultant here.
Yeah.
People are going to get angry and turn off the show.
Oh.
I have reams and reams and reams of notes. It needs to be better.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Hey, we're sorry. We're sorry.
All right.
It smells grossly like bubblegum in here,
Yeah,
guys.
it does.
Well, yeah, it would. In 1985, Brian Ferry released Slave to Love, the lead single from the sixth solo album, Boys and Girls. 85.
And it was on the 9.5 Weeks soundtrack, which was a terrible movie.
It had
Such a
Mickey
waste of
Rourke in
food.
it.
Waste of food.
Mickey Rourke in it.
They're
That
wasting food.
can't be a bad movie with Mickey Rourke.
Time now for Boner of the Day. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to be Boner of the Day for today, April 29, 2024. We'll give you 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. One of you lucky random Boner voters will receive.
Can't buy it, gotta win it. Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt.
Here's Boner candidate number 1. Because you want people to think you peed yourself? Fashion has hit a sticky spot after a designer brought out a pair of jeans with a ready-made wet patch across the crotch. The design, which was created by Jordan Luca and shown off during the fall-winter catwalk collection, is on sale now. Jeans for the brand Jordan Luca sell for around 500 pounds. I don't know what that is in dollars, but one person commented online, no more having to wait for the bathroom. You can just pee yourself and say, it's the design.
There you go.
Another added, why would anybody wear this? If you're looking for a pair of spring jeans that'll get you positive attention, and maybe that's the perfect pair. I think sometimes designers do these things just to see if people are stupid enough to.
Will anybody buy these?
Boner candidate number 1, because you Want people to think you peed yourself? Boner candidate number 2, the morality police on the watch in St. George. A Utah woman was charged with sexual battery after she told police she pulled another woman's skirt down in a St. George steakhouse because she believed the skirt was, quote, inappropriate.
I heard about this.
No, I saw the video.
A 48-year-old woman featured in a viral TikTok video accused her of being a Karen was charged with sexual battery this week after she told police she pulled down the teen's skirt because she felt it was inappropriate. The woman was arrested a few days later after she called police herself, reporting last Saturday that the TikTok amounted to a threat on her life because it insinuated that her interaction with the 19-year-old at least 2 hours earlier was sexual in nature.
Reached up under her skirt and pulled it down.
The video posted to TikTok did not show the woman pulling down the teen's skirt, but it did show her interacting with the teen's group in the lobby of the Sakura Japanese Steakhouse. I happen to work for the state, and if I have to watch your ass cheeks hanging out again, I will call CPS, the 48-year-old woman can be heard saying. That's the Division of Child and Family Services.
I work for the
Apparently
state.
she does work for the
Really?
state.
Well, this story says they couldn't. The Salt Lake Tribune has not been able to find any evidence
Oh, I
of
thought
it
I
yet.
heard that she
Well, maybe there may have been an update to it. It's here in the Tribune story, says the woman's name was not found in an initial search of public salary data. A state employee directory does list an email and a phone number for a person with the same name, and indicates the individual works at the Utah Attorney General's office.
There you go.
More details about the person's role, though not listed. We are aware of the situation and following policies and procedures, said a spokesperson for the Attorney General's office. The woman said, yes, I pulled that skirt down and told her to be aware of what she was showing. No officers went to the restaurant after her first call. Indeed, a St. George police officer did make contact with the woman the next day. The woman told the officer she felt it was her responsibility to approach the teen and pull her skirt down because a young boy had seemed to point to the teen's skirt, and the boy's father, neither of whom the 48-year-old had any relation to, did nothing about it. While I was trying to help.
No. You don't touch people.
No.
Boner candidate number 2, the morality police on watch in St. George. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Now, I think this is actually calculated to make her look even better to the MAGA world.
Boner candidate number 3 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo brought to you by.
Waterproof your home with Baseco because water can make its way through your foundation in many different ways. Baseco specializes in a variety of permanent foundation waterproofing solutions tailored to your unique issue. From sump pumps all the way to major repairs to crack-settling foundations, each solution is backed by a guarantee. Schedule a free assessment today at baseco.net.
Taylor Swift's private jet tracker. So this guy has been tracking her private jet, has revealed that he has heard nothing since her legal team sent a cease and desist letter to stop him from, quote, stalking her online. Computer student Jack Sweeney remains defiant and has kept on posting the whereabouts of Taylor Swift's 2 private jets, although she sold one of them earlier this year. But he figures Taylor Swift's private jets flew 178,000 miles in 1 year.
She's going to get all kinds of frequent flyer miles.
That figure is equivalent to 7 times around the planet. Her jet tracker, Jack Sweeney, has made a YouTube video of Taylor Swift's flights, and he says he did get a cease and desist letter, but he said, I'm not doing anything illegal, and he says he hasn't heard from them since then.
Mm-hmm.
He has doubled down on releasing the flight data. He says he hasn't counted how many there are, but he said at least it's over at least 170 flights, accounting for that much mileage.
But why? That's kind of creepy.
It is.
I think he's just fascinated by it.
It's also public information.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just fascinated by how much, how it is interesting. It is kind of interesting to hear about it. She's flown 83 times more than the average American. He also talks about how much environmental damage that much flying does. So there you go. Let's talk about, the Republicans had their convention here in Salt Lake over the weekend, and so did the Democrats.
Did anything bad happen? Was there
it's funny.
Vulgarity or
there was a funny thing I read about the Republican convention. It said the line said they were still doing the last of the voting as midnight approached, and midnight their contract would be up with the Salt Palace Convention Center. So what, would they just start shooing them out of the building?
Because they got to get ready for the next thing.
Yeah, Democrats gathered.
They had problems getting it started because they've changed all their rules about how to check people in because they don't trust anything.
Democrats gathered Saturday in their annual state nominating convention. I think it was at a restaurant or something. They nominated an anti-Joe Biden candidate.
What?
For Utah's 2nd Congressional District, who's already promised he will step aside and let the party pick a replacement to take his spot on November's ballot. Brian Adams came under fire from a variety of Democratic organizations, including the Young Democrats of Utah and the Disability Caucus, for claiming January 6th rioters were being politically persecuted and criticizing President Biden for facilitating an invasion at the southern border. Opponents were pushing the party not to nominate a candidate and leave the spot on the ballot vacant, since Adams was the only Democrat to run for the office currently held by Celeste Malloy. But Utah Democratic Vice Chair Oscar Mata said at Saturday's nominating convention that Adams had committed to withdrawing from the race if he's nominated.
So if he withdraws, they can pick somebody.
Yeah.
You don't want to just have a blank space on the ballot.
Yeah,
for
that's
that.
bad.
So it's kind of around. This is the way they could get a reasonable person in there and not just.
Does he?
Why does it have to be this guy?
Yeah. Why isn't he at the Salt Palace?
Because he's the only guy that filed to run. Nobody filed to run against him.
Yeah.
Really?
He was it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd have known.
I'm trying to see where they had this convention. I don't know. I think it was at the Sizzler. I'm not sure. A federal judge Friday sentenced Utah activist John Earl Sullivan, to 6 years in prison for his role in the January 6th U.S. Capitol insurrection.
He's the one that said he was a journalist.
Yeah.
I'm here as a journalist.
Oh, that guy.
Judge Royce C. Lamberth, who sentenced Sullivan to 36 months supervised release, about $2,500 in fees and restitution. A jury last year convicted Sullivan of 7 counts. That includes 3 charges related to carrying a weapon, a knife, and counts of accusing him of interrupting Congress. Sullivan was one of the first people arrested after the riots and the first Utah riot defendant to take his case to trial. Sullivan testified that he went to the Capitol because he believed there would be a violent effort to stop the certification of the government, and he wanted to film it. But prosecutors used his own videos and words against him. He was heard on recordings encouraging the mob, and at one point telling rioters, I have a knife, let me up. At his sentencing, prosecutors asked for 87 months in prison. The defense asked for just 30 months, arguing Sullivan's role at the riot had been overstated and that his mental health had been suffering. He's been in jail since his conviction.
Good.
This may not be the final word on his conviction or sentence. His attorney has told the court that Sullivan plans to appeal. Gina, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Yes.
Multiple U.S. agencies issuing new warnings about the concerning spread of highly pathogenic avian influenza strains. They're calling it highly contagious. Tests of commercial milk samples have showed the presence of the virus. Although the milk is still safe to drink because it has been pasteurized, the World Health Organization acknowledged that there were concerns with making sure the commercial milk supply stays safe.
We've been buying the ultra pasteurized. You can get it at Whole Foods. It's like extra.
They pasteurize it twice.
Yeah, no,
because
I mean
it makes
is.
it nice.
It's extra, ultra pasteurized.
They urge people not to consume raw milk. Please, don't use raw
Ever,
milk.
because that's gross.
Yeah. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has met with Donald Trump to discuss the possibility of helping raise funds because Trump is not raising enough money.
It does not matter what that man says about you or your wife or your parents or your or you.
Nope.
It doesn't matter. They go running back.
You bet.
Why?
Because they want to win. Let's see. A man disguised as a woman in Florida put on his best dress to steal a boat Wednesday afternoon. Just after 3 p.m., deputies were investigating a stolen boat in the old Calusa Lodge area of Lakeport, Florida, just west of Lake Okeechobee. While deputies were surveying the area, they spotted the suspect, identified as Joshua Kolotaka, leaving a nearby home dressed as a woman to disguise himself. So I don't think he was wearing...
So he wasn't sneaking into a bathroom?
No.
He was stealing a boat?
Yeah, I think he stole the boat, and then he was trying to disguise himself as a woman as he was leaving his home, so the cops wouldn't know it was him. But he didn't look good. He did not look good at all. And you can find a great many things in Mexico's Mercado República de San Luis Potosi market, but perhaps the most exotic of all is in an old food stall known for selling rat meat. They've been selling rat meat for over a half a century at this place. For many of us, rat meat ranks pretty high on the list of things we wouldn't be caught dead eating. But in the region of San Luis Potosi, it has long been valued for its exotic flavor and alleged medicinal properties. However, in recent years, stalls selling rat meat and dishes containing it have all but disappeared from local markets, all except one in Mercado República de San Luis Potosi, which still sells both raw rat meat and rodent broth, cooked with an assortment of vegetables and spices. Each bowl of rat broth contains a whole field rat and sells for about $5.80. The last rat meat vendor in Mercado República is Jose Remedios Hernandez.
The Rat King? Do they call him the Rat King?
He better be.
He's known as Camilo. He inherited the exotic business from his mother.
You must carry on the rat business.
All the rats in or in Camilo's broths are caught in the countryside, surrounding communities and municipalities, and they have a very high nutritional value. Rat meat, they say, is especially useful for people with anemia, diabetes, cancer, and helping to strengthen the body and increase the appetite. And there are pictures of bowls of broth with a rat in it. Ugh. All right, that's it.
All right. Weather, traffic.
Weather. Nice today. Mostly sunny. Chance of showers this afternoon and then overnight tonight. About a 60% chance. Let's see, 70 for a high. Overnight low 38, so it'll be pretty chilly tonight. Cool things down. It'll be sunny tomorrow, 62. And then we stay in the low 60s, mid 50s, it looks like, for most of the rest of the week. And after tonight's little storm that comes through, looks like we should be sunny for most of the rest of the week. Traffic is looking great. I just refreshed my UDOT website, and I'm not seeing any issues or slowdowns really at all, and you haven't sent anything in via text. Oh, wait, Sid did. Sid says eastbound 5th South, 13th East, down to 1 lane due to construction. Thanks, Sid. Oh, and Mateo in Oceanside.
I saw that, yeah.
Says our pier didn't burn down, just the building at the end of it.
It was an old vacant restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah.
A diner that burned. It didn't burn down the whole pier, like I said last week.
Yeah, so feel free to correct us at 33986. We appreciate it. The elite aesthetics team at Canyons Medical Center focused on 3 cutting-edge skin therapy devices for younger, healthier skin. Visit canyonsmedical.com, services menu for details.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. I think this is calculated to make her look even better to the MAGA world. Kristi Noem, governor of South Dakota, considered, she's devoted to Donald Trump. She is considered, or has been considered, to be a vice presidential pick. Yep. She's an attractive woman for the most part.
So Donald likes that.
He likes that.
Well, she's been changing. She's been having a lot of work done to look more Trump.
She's been having an affair with Corey Lewandowski, who was one of
Trump's advisors,
campaign strategist. And but now people are saying, well, I think she's probably off the list now because of this. She's written a book called No Going Back, The Truth on What's Wrong with Politics and How We Move America Forward. And in this book, she proceeds to tell a story about how she killed a dog named Cricket. It had to be done. Reaching for an example of her unflinching preparedness to do anything difficult, messy, and ugly, if it needs to be done, Kristi Noem landed on this chilling example, the time she killed her pet dog, Cricket, in an execution-style gravel pit slaying. The South Dakota governor includes this disturbing tale of canicide in the book, which is set to be published next month. According to The Guardian, Noem recounts the story of how she not only killed Cricket, a female wire hair pointer, about 14 months old, but she also proceeded to botch the killing of an unnamed goat that she owned, to which she had taken a disliking. Noem reportedly writes in her book that Cricket had an aggressive personality, and Governor Noem, hoped taking her on a pheasant hunt with older dogs would help to calm the young Cricket down. Instead, Noem writes that Cricket spoiled the hunt by being out of her mind with excitement, chasing all the birds and having the time of her life. The Republican reportedly writes that she failed to get Cricket under control with voice commands and an electronic collar, but then an even worse incident had occurred after the hunt had ended. Cricket escaped the truck and started killing a family's chickens. She said, well, there was no other choice. I had to take Cricket. Oh, and Cricket tried to bite her. Says, I had no other choice. I took Cricket. I hated that dog. I took Cricket to the gravel pit and killed it. Killed the dog. I had to put her down.
No, you didn't.
And then she
you didn't
said,
have to do that.
No, you didn't.
And then she said a construction crew had seen her killing both the dog and the goat. And
what'd they do about it?
They just ignored it, I guess. I don't know why that detail is in there. But so now
there are things you can do.
But people are now saying, well, I bet you she's off the list now. She's not going to be considered to be vice president. I think this is calculated to make her look even stronger.
I think she thought it would. I think it's backfiring.
I don't think it is. I think the minute Donald Trump says, well, she did what she had to do. She perfectly reasonable. She's a strong woman.
And
people
he
will
hates
go,
dogs.
He don't like dogs anyway.
And I think that the MAGA world will go, yeah, he's right.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number one, because you want people to think you peed yourself. It's a designer who has brought out jeans with a wet patch across the crotch. It makes it look like you've wet your pants. Boner candidate number two, the morality police on watch in St. George. That's a Utah woman charged with sexual battery. She told police she did it. She said, I did it. I pulled this young woman's skirt down because it was inappropriate. She was showing her ass cheeks, and I pulled her skirt down so that people couldn't see that. And Boner candidate number three, I think this is calculated to make her look even better to the MAGA world.
All right, so you've got to decide of these three candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to be Boner of the Day for today, April 29, 2024. Which one is the worst? 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text and text that to 33986. Easy. It's one way to vote. Another is to call Katie in the producer's booth, 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner of the Day, April 29, 2024. Click and vote. If you don't see that box, refresh your browser. It'll appear. Click and vote. You've only got 3.5 minutes to do it, so let's go. This is Boner of the Day.
And then I was reading a story today, it's here somewhere, that men are often likely to be the ones to fall in love at first sight, as opposed to women, which I think is interesting.
Did they say why that happened?
Maybe, but I didn't read the whole story. I just read the headline. I haven't read it yet. Let's see if I can find it.
Well, I'm certain.
There it is.
I'm certain it happens all the time.
You mean,
Sorry.
You believe in a love at first sight?
Yeah.
Some people believe that you have to thoroughly get to know someone before you can fall in love. Others would beg to differ, swearing that love at first sight isn't limited to fairy tales. And apparently 59% of men believe that love at first sight is a thing.
Well, can
49% of women.
Lust at
That's
first
what I was
sight?
going to say.
Well,
like, I'm very attracted to that person. I don't know how you could be in love with somebody you'd not gotten to know.
It happened to me once.
You were in love.
I swear to God.
Like I would throw myself in front of a train for this person.
It was so pronounced that I think after the first time I saw this person, it might have been that at the very first time I saw them, I said this to them, but it was short a day or so afterward. I don't know how to explain this, but I believe that I have fallen in love with you and I don't know you.
And what did they say to that?
It's a great opening line, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I knew who she was, but I didn't. I had very little contact with her.
How did she react to that?
Positively, very well. As a matter of fact, she said, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't." And I mean, I don't know what to do about that, but. And she said, "Well, let's find out."
Well,
or something to that effect. And I sort of thought that it would be.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the only time it's. I've fallen in lust.
I was going to say a lot of
seeing somebody and going, I am very, very attracted to that person I just saw.
And a lot of people mistake that for love.
Yeah, first time I saw my wife, the woman I'm married to, Carrie was with me.
Yeah,
and I just went, oh my God, that's but that to me that was lust. Yeah, that was lust. But this was different. The time that it happened, it was different.
And did you find that person to have some quality that?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like now I know why I felt that way when I saw this person the first time.
Yeah, and we had a relationship for a while, but it was not to be. And I won't go into the details of that because they're too painfully embarrassing. All in all. Somebody said I told that story recently. I think I have mentioned it before, but it just made me think of it reading that story today. It was never happened to you. Never fallen in love. No. Been attracted. Very, very hard attraction.
But not love.
Texter. Hey, Bill, there's a song by Alan Jackson called I'm Married to You, but I Don't Even Know Your Name.
I like that. You walk up and you say, I'm married to you and I don't even know your name.
Oh, that's all. It's good opening.
Here's the thing about country music is that a lot of it is novelty songs, okay? A lot of them are novelty songs.
Somebody in the chat room says that I understand what Bill's talking about. It happened to me, but I didn't have the guts to say anything about it. Yeah. And I couldn't see. That's another thing that I really thought it was something because I had to say it.
You were compelled.
Yeah.
Huh.
Time to award Boner of the Day.
And it's brought to you in part by steak and potatoes and sautéed mushrooms.
And Gracie's open daily for lunch and dinner, now serving brunch every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday till 3 p.m. Enjoy Gracie's award-winning heated patio live music 4 nights a week. Gracie's is located at the corner of 3rd Southwest Temple. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Well, quite the battle between boner candidate number 2, morality police on watch in St. George, and boner candidate number 3. I think this is calculated to make her look even better to the MAGA world. Kristi Noem, governor of South Dakota. She's a very weird person, isn't she? Doing that commercial for her Invisalign, her braces or whatever, her dental work, That was weird. And now this, I don't know.
She's a real train wreck, which means she's perfect for the vice presidential nomination.
I think Trump is still very strongly considering her. And she wins Boner of the Day, 178 votes.
There you go. That's your Boner of the Day for today, April 29, 2024. Now qualified to be Boner of the Week.
That last clip you played, who is that actor? Is that Ken Marino?
I can't remember.
What's
It's
the show?
it's an older show. It's a show about cops that hunt supernatural. I can't remember what it was called.
I like that. Email of interest I have here.
Oh, is it of interest?
It is really.
Email of interest.
Well, last week we were talking about the Liberace Museum. And had some kind of quaint old pictures of Carrie and I at the Liberace Museum, which doesn't exist anymore, with Dora Liberace. Carrie and I posing for pictures. I was in front of one of his Rolls Royces, and Carrie was with Dora Liberace, gesturing to the largest rhinestone in the world. And Liberace said at one time, "I'd much rather have rhinestones than diamonds."
Why?
I don't know. That's just the
I
kind of
could
guy
have
he was.
more of them.
Yeah,
probably.
because I mean, you. There is a certain. You can put them everywhere, and they sparkle.
Nobody really knows.
So we're talking about the museum, and it closed down. But we found out. I did a little research quickly and found out that it still sort of exists, and they will loan out parts of the museum for exhibits and things, and when requested. And part of the museum was in Michael Jackson's old house in Las Vegas. Yeah. And then the other was in I forget what it was, a garage or something. Well, we get this email from Brian Harris. Folks, I found myself with some free time in Las Vegas Sunday. Imagine my surprise when the temporary exhibit at the Nevada Museum was Liberace.
Oh!
And what are the odds?
He sent us a couple of pictures. He said, unfortunately, there was no Rolls Royce, but if you go to x96.com/live, there are a couple of pictures he sent us. There's Liberace's piano covered with rhinestones.
And his suit covered in rhinestones.
Yeah. And, and there's over there in the corner, this here picture, I think. And then there's he sent another picture, too, of more Liberace costumes. That one in the middle is ostrich feathers.
The pink one?
Yeah. And it's
huge, fabulous.
Look at the huge train behind it. And he would wear that out on stage. It's just astonishing stuff. And then Brian in his email says, is this the opposite, by the way, of things that must go? I mean, where if all three of you talk about something, it comes to pass. That
is a really weird confluence of events.
Coincidence, yeah, that he managed to find Liberace.
Well, and they don't have it out all the time. It's
No.
not like it's a special exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's if you ever get a chance to watch the Liberace, you go find it. Watch that Liberace show with Michael Douglas.
Under the Candelabra.
Is that what it's called? Under the Candelabra? Because it really is quite an accurate portrayal of Liberace's life, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he was an interesting kid. You know, Liberace, I think he's from the Bronx or something like that, or someplace in New York.
He's from Wisconsin, Bill.
Was it Wisconsin?
I just looked it up because I was wondering what Liberace's first name was.
Lee.
Waldzu.
What is
not exactly a name built for showbiz.
What's his whole name?
It's Waldziu.
Waldziu?
Valentino. That tracks.
Okay, Valentino, yeah.
Liberace. His Polish and Italian parents.
Wow. And he I remember when I was a kid seeing a movie that was about his life, I think, that he starred in. Anyway, he was a fabulous entertainer.
He's from Milwaukee. You would think he'd be from somewhere more exotic.
I got a phone call here from a big Liberace fan. Hello?
Hey,
Hey.
I'm covered with pink ostrich feathers.
Ostrich.
Right now, huh?
Ostrich feathers?
Ostrich feathers.
Are
yep.
are those different than ostrich feathers?
Yeah.
Hi, Artie.
Hey, what's up? What are you guys doing?
You would look good in a rhinestone outfit. I
Do you
think.
know how to play the piano, Artie?
No.
Well, what did you do as the young ambassador? What was it? The young singer?
Oh, you know what? I used to play the trumpet.
Ah, there we go.
What happened?
March around the. I still have it. You know, every once in a while I get on my front porch and I just start blowing that every once in a while, you know, until the neighbors call the cops.
I'd like you to play the trumpet for us sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know, I will.
Yeah,
It'll be a lot of fun.
He'll do it.
I'll do it.
I'll do whatever you
want me to do anything.
Don't challenge him. He'll do it.
I'll do whatever you want.
That's why we love Arlie. He's up for anything.
So how was your weekend, Artie?
Oh, you know what? It was great. I just, you know what? In all honesty, I just sit around on the edge of my bed, just anxiously awaiting to appear on the radio with you guys. It's like, okay, how much longer? How much longer? Oh my God.
That's damned unfortunate.
Yeah. So on the edge of my bed, it's like I've been looking at the clock. It's like, oh man, is it time yet? Is it time yet? And then, oh wow,
that really is sad.
Good.
Well, what have you got coming up on your show?
Yeah, what's on the show?
Well, this is exciting. You know what? It's my 1-year anniversary of being back on X96, and I'm kind of taken aback that you didn't bring that up. You know, initially when you went, you know, to talk to me, it's, you know, you guys were supposed to, you know, like in unison, like, you know, wish me a happy 1-year anniversary back or something.
Well,
did
you get the cake?
Well, see, that's the thing. I was hoping for oversized cake with Amanda Dixon and Tim Hughes to pop out of it. Have you guys plan on doing that for me?
No, but we did send you a sheet cake from Harmon's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better. I want balloons and streamers and ice cream in the break room, and oh, you know, I want all that good.
It'll be
stuff,
waiting for you here.
Now it says congratulations. It says congratulations on your promotion, but that's wrong. They got it wrong.
And you guys.
And it says
what's that?
It says congratulations on your promotion, Frank.
Yeah.
Which
they made a mistake.
They just made a mistake.
All right.
So what anniversary back? Any bets on how long I'm going to last this time?
We're day to day.
End of April. Let's see. We're at the end of April. I'm thinking June.
Right.
June,
you think?
Yeah, end of June.
Well, to celebrate, I'm going to play Erasure on my buffet 3 in a row from the band. Also, I'm going to play something really cool from Depeche Mode on my dumpster dive song of the day about 1:30ish. Oh, and I'm giving away Kilby Block Party tickets.
Oh, that's a big prize.
That's excellent. All right, Artie.
Thank you.
10 o'clock.
All right. Well, have a good day.
See you then.
And
bye.
Wish me, you're going to wish me,
happy birthday.
Happy promotion day, Frank.
No!
All right. Thank
Dang
you.
it, you guys screwed it up.
All right. Bye-bye.
Nobody's screwing up on the roads, though. Everything looks great. Not seeing any accidents being reported either by you or by UDOT. So we'll go with that. If that changes, please let us know. 33986.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back after these messages. Bill Frost is here to tell us what's on TV this week. Stand by. RandLife.com/X96.
Yes. Rand Life, a local mortgage company. And they've been doing mortgages, I don't know, they did mine 20 years ago maybe. Anyway, they want you to know you can qualify for a home loan with an incredible 3.75% interest rate. They have what's called a 3-in-1 adjustable rate mortgage. Rand Life's 3-in-1 adjustable rate mortgage is a ticket to unlocking affordability on the home that you have dreamed of. With a 3.75% interest rate, you can qualify for a larger loan amount, get a lower mortgage payment, and turn your dream into an address. Rand Life has some of the best loan pricing and loan officers in the game. So reach out and learn more by visiting randlife.com/X96. Their experts are there to help. On approval of credit and restrictions do apply. 3.75% interest rate. APR is 6.97%. Turn your dream into an address today. randlife.com/X96. You know, you sound kind of different today, Gina. What's up?
Is it because I'm all the way over here in Florida? It's so far away.
She's going to come back sick again, and you guys are going to be so mad.
It never fails.
It's Festus, my sailor son. He's in the Navy here in Florida.
Ahoy.
And he broke his leg.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Festus.
So there was this baby. The baby was drowning in the river.
Don't lie.
And I have to come up with a cool story because the real story is not cool at all.
Oh, what's the real story?
I went boating out on the St. Johns River, and we pulled up to like this little embankment and anchored the boat. And I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to jump off the back of the boat and make a little splash. So I jump off the back of the boat, and it turns out the ground was much closer than I thought it was. And I shattered my tibia and my fibula.
Oh,
that must have been thrilling.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
He got an ambulance ride?
With the sirens and the lights.
That is such a Florida man accident. You are officially a Florida man now.
How much beer was involved in this?
I only had 2, Bill.
Okay. All right.
They were IPAs, but I had 2.
And he had surgery. He's got it's not a titanium. We don't know what kind of metal it is. Rod that goes from his knee down to his ankle.
Probably iron.
It's one that can't be detected in, I guess the metal detectors don't pick it up. It's a new kind of thing.
Oh, really? Because I've got all kinds of titanium in me, and it picks it all up.
But he's kind of down for the count for 6 weeks. So I came out to help him for a little bit of that time. Plus, I wanted to see him because my baby was hurt.
What's the progress? I mean, what's the prognosis? Of the doctor say eventually you'll be pretty good? And
he said 100% in a few months, but I can't even put any weight on it for about another month or so. And then there's physical therapy and all that. But he said it's likely I'd be back at 100%.
Do you have physical therapy now, or do you have to wait even for that?
I have to wait for that. I have another appointment like at the end of June, and then after that I can start stretching.
Are they going to kick you out of the Navy?
No, he said he would try to prevent that because he was in the Navy too. He just retired. He was a captain.
But was that a question? I mean,
yeah, definitely. It was a possibility depending on the prognosis. If I couldn't get back to what they call fit for full duty, then eventually I would get separated. But he's thinking that won't happen.
And so, is it? I mean, are you in pain now?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I shattered my tibia, Bill. I mean, it hurts.
It was so bad that while we were at the doctor's office, he was calling in other people to come in and look at his x-rays because they're like, oh, is this the one we heard about?
You got to see this.
Guy out.
If you go to x96.com/live, you can see Gina and Festus there. What do you?
That's the Waffle House.
We went to Waffle House. We laid out the handicap parking space at Waffle House.
Did you have?
We don't have the
Gina?
sticker, but we did it anyway.
Did you have anything, Gina?
Yeah, I had a waffle.
They have meat. They have meat and bread there.
Yeah, I had bacon.
I just thought
hash browns. You like hash browns?
Yeah.
I just thought you'd be afraid to eat at a Waffle House in general.
Oh, I was. And the only other thing we've been able to do is go to movies. I've been trying to talk him into doing other things. I'm like, let's go for a drive. Let's go look at the Okefenokee Swamp. And he's...
I don't want to look at things I can't go walk in. This is depressing.
This is true.
Yeah.
I'm going to appreciate walking so much more now.
As Kyle would want you to. That's exactly Kyle's point.
That's what that.
She has no idea what to watch on TV. None.
Well,
You would think in Perry they would have all the knowledge of TV.
And that's Perry with an E, right?
Yeah, Perry.
All right. Is this a sponsored feature, Gina?
CableTV.com is the place for expert reviews, recommendations, and resources for discovering the best cable, satellite streaming, and internet services near you. Maximize your entertainment with CableTV.com today.
Well, here he is. He's Bill Frost. He's a writer. You'll find his column in City Weekly every other week, I think it is.
Yeah, once a month.
What's the once a month?
Yeah.
What's the current column?
The next one, I just wrote it last week. I've already forgotten what it was. It should be coming out this week. And I'm
You're blanking on what
I'm
you wrote
blanking on
about.
what it's about.
Oh, that's okay. I can't
I
remember.
just
It'll be a
crank them out.
surprise to you, too.
I just crank them out and send them.
All right. Bill, so enjoy it with all of us, Bill, by going to cityweekly.net. You can also find Bill's podcast wherever podcasts are obtained. It's called TV Tan, and Bill is a musician. Magda Vega is the band, and you can find all stuff Bill Frost related at billfrost.tv.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
What's on the TV?
Tomorrow, I finally get to see Elizabeth Moss not playing an oppressed woman, which she's really good at.
Yeah.
But there's a new series on Hulu called The Veil. This is a FX on Hulu, but I'm not going to call it that because you can't watch it on FX.
Nope.
So that's dumb.
Yeah.
She plays an MI6 agent, so Elizabeth Moss with a British accent. This is
Okay.
from Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight.
All right.
6-part series.
Mm-hmm.
She is teaming up with a French operative to stop a potential disaster, and also take in the sights of Paris and Istanbul. It's very scenic.
All right.
It's very postcardy.
Okay, I like that.
Josh Charles is also in this,
He's
and
good.
2 of 6 episodes streamed tomorrow.
Okay.
On Wednesday, I don't know if anyone's been watching this. This is the 3rd season premiere, Acapulco. Very fun little series on Apple TV Plus. It's about a older gentleman who's telling his nephew about his days working at a resort in 1985 in Acapulco.
Okay.
And it's sort of a dual storyline.
Oh,
It's got
okay.
a kind of a cute love story.
Modern day, and then
and a whole lot of 80s.
Okay.
All right.
And there's a singing duo who work at the resort, and they sing all of the 80s hits in Spanish.
in Spanish.
I want to see this.
There you go.
It's a fun little series.
Especially you got 3 seasons out of that.
Yeah.
You know,
And Thursday, Welcome to Wrexham.
begins.
Back for 3rd season.
Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
And the other guy.
And the other guy, I never
Yeah,
know how
who
to
is
say
the
his
other
name.
guy? Yeah.
Meckel.
Rob McElhenney.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. The
that guy. Yeah. Also
Always
back,
Sunny in Philadelphia
Yeah.
guy.
season 3 of Hacks. It's been almost 2 years.
Yes.
What day is this?
It's on Thursday on Max.
Okay.
Deborah, played by Jean Smart, she's had a hit comedy special, and now she's riding high. She's out of Vegas Purgatory. And,
Okay.
And now her star is rising again.
Good.
I love that show.
And they're going to reunite Deborah and Hannah. Hannah is dismayed to find out she's hired new writers.
Oh.
Don't you stick with the one that gets you there?
Well, they parted ways at the end of the previous
That's right.
season.
They did. Yeah.
And but one of her friends is telling her, well, she had to hire 2 writers to replace you, so really it's kind of a compliment. A movie, Gina.
Yes.
This might be for you.
Okay.
It's The Idea of You on Prime Video.
Oh, I like it already.
Anne Hathaway.
Oh.
Anne Hathaway plays a 40-something
Oh, wait,
single
no.
mom.
No, I don't like this. I know what this is
It
about.
took a turn already, huh?
What?
It's icky. I don't
What?
like it.
She is chaperoning her teen daughter to Coachella, which I guess is a thing you do. And she meets up with the lead singer of a boy band who's one of the headliners. He's 24.
Mm-hmm.
And a May December romance ensues.
Okay.
And I'm dismayed to find out that there are boy bands at Coachella.
Yeah.
What's the icky part of it?
Because
they're not that far apart in age.
What? You go with your daughter to a concert and you hit on the.
Maybe he hit on
younger-
her.
Mom.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, well, it's from Michael Showalter, who did The Big Sick. So
Yeah.
Well, I love the Big Six.
yeah. If you want to see Jeff Daniels in full drama mode,
Yeah.
Netflix on Thursday, A Man in Full.
Oh, I like him when he does drama.
A Man in Full.
This is based on the Tom Wolfe novel from 1998, directed by David E. Kelly. So you know it's going to be talky.
Okay.
And he plays a real estate baron who was suddenly on the verge of bankruptcy, and his wife Diane Lane is not taking it well.
Diane Lane.
Yeah.
Okay. Another reason to tune in.
Yeah, also William Jackson Harper from The Good Place is in here. Also Lucy Liu
Oh,
is in
like
here.
her, yeah.
Is this a series or
It's
a
a
movie?
series. It's a 6-episode series
On Netflix?
on Netflix
Called
A Man in Full.
Man in Full.
That was a follow-up novel to The Bonfire of the Vanities.
Oh, okay. All right.
On Friday, Jerry Seinfeld's directorial debut.
This is so weird.
It looks funny. It's got a huge cast.
I heard him interviewed about this, and he was very funny about talking about it. It's the only idea I've ever had for a movie.
That's a good one. Unfrosted, the Pop-Tart story on Netflix Friday.
What?
Yeah. It's the true story of the rival cereal companies rushing to launch the first toaster pastry in the 1960s.
Yes.
Here's that cast. Besides Seinfeld, also Melissa McCarthy, Hugh Grant, James Marsden, Max Greenfield, Thomas Lennon, Rachel Harris, Fred Armisen, Amy Schumer, Jim Gaffigan, Bill Burr, Sarah Cooper, Jack McBrayer, and that's not all of them.
Well, they couldn't get anybody good, huh?
You know who Hugh Grant plays?
I don't know.
Oh, who's playing?
Tony the Tiger?
Yeah, Earl Ravenscroft.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that was Stab in the Dark.
He plays
Earl Ravenscroft.
Ravenscroft.
I'm watching.
All right.
And you know what Saturday is? May the 4th.
Star Wars cartoons.
Yep, Star Wars Tales of the Empire premieres Saturday on Disney Plus.
Yep.
Animated series about a pair of young people who are joining the Empire, but for different reasons, and they're taking divergent paths within the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that video game animation stuff.
Yeah.
So,
you know.
They can't all be gems.
You're not excited, Carrie?
No,
Oh,
no. I'm not as excited about the Star Wars stuff anymore.
May the 4th is just another day to carry anymore.
You know, I was celebrating before it was a thing, so I'm hipster that way.
What?
Yeah. I watched this 2-part documentary, Kisstory.
Kisstory?
The history of the band Kiss.
Yeah, I think that came out a while ago.
It was a while ago, but the second part ended abruptly. I mean, there were no credits at the end.
Oh, really?
I mean, it just ended.
You know, I watched this when it came out, and I don't remember that.
It just ended. I don't know what happened.
No one wanted their name attached to it?
I guess. They kept running disclaimers through the whole thing. Ace Frehley and Peter Criss want nothing to do with this. You know?
Meanwhile, Ace and Peter are like, well, maybe we would if you'd pay us.
I watched over the weekend Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, how was that?
Very odd.
That's what I'm hearing.
But good that, however you say his name, Dutchmalian?
I think so.
Dutchmalian?
Yeah.
Sure.
He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing this talk show host.
In the late 70s, he was the rival to Johnny Carson, and they do a little fake, what they think is a fake exorcism.
For Halloween.
But nope, it's real.
Yep.
Late Night with the Devil.
I watched that one back-to-back with Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, yeah?
Boy.
That's a night.
It's intense.
And also, I'm quite enjoying Colin Farrell in Sugar.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a crime noir
series.
It's
about as noir as anything could possibly be.
On Apple TV+.
And he has a beautiful baby blue Corvette. Oh, my God, what a beautiful car. All right, Bill Frost. Look for his stuff at billfrost.tv.
Traffic, Gina, please.
Well, I don't know where everybody is. What's everybody doing?
What, are they supposed to report into you?
Yes.
Yeah, Infiniteam, that's your job.
All right.
Let me know what you're seeing on the roads. Text it to me, 33986. X96 wants to send you to Vegas to see Pearl Jam May 18th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Go to x96.com right now to enter our contest to win a flyaway airfare hotel stay. 2 tickets to Pearl Jam.
All right. Beat Gina coming up after these messages and a song. It's an easy game to play, pop culture trivia, multiple choice. And when you beat Gina, you will win what?
Imagine Dragon tickets. They're coming October 11th to Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater.
All right. Imagine Dragons tickets for you. 877-602-9696. All you got to do is play Beat Gina, and you'll win those tickets. 877-602-9696. So how strong was the odor?
So I got out of my car here at the Broadway Media Tower this morning. Today. And there's not that many cars down there.
No.
Except Carrie's car is there. And I opened my door and I instantly smelled skunk. Now, I don't think there was a skunk in the parking garage.
Is there a skunk in your car, Carrie?
But I instantly thought, And I asked, as I walked in the studio, I said, Carrie, did you hit a skunk on the way to work? And you said...
I said, no, that answers my question. I didn't hit a skunk.
You didn't hit him?
No.
Hmm?
What?
What?
Come in, Katie, I can't.
You can't.
Yeah, you're bad at pantomime.
So you didn't hit a skunk.
I did not hit a skunk. But here's the thing. Yes, Katie.
Are you talking about on the freeway?
It may be. We come in the
Because
same...
it's on my car, too.
Really?
What happened?
I think somebody hit a skunk on the freeway
Ran
on our
over
off ramp that you and I normally take, the
Yes.
the 9th South off ramp.
Yes.
I think somebody hit a skunk on there because I think I ran over the dead carcass, and now the side of my car smells like skunk, and it covered the entire inside of my car. With
Okay.
the smell.
You both
see,
ran over it or
'cause
were near it.
I didn't run over anything. See, what happened was I was taking that route. I smelled the skunk. And I'm like, oh, somebody must have hit a skunk, and that's what I'm smelling.
Yeah.
And then as I proceeded into town, it didn't go away. I thought,
Yeah.
well, it's just still circulating in my car.
It was on
And
your
then
car.
I get out, and I'm like, I can still smell it. It must be stuck in my nose, is what I'm
That's
thinking.
literally, I've been dealing with my nose inside the studio. It's because of that.
Because I still feel like I smell it.
Exactly, me too.
When I was at Bear Lake one time, driving, and a skunk ran right in front of my car, and I ran over it. I killed it, and my car just reeked of skunk. But it goes away pretty fast. Just you park it outside. Yeah, it should be parked outside now.
Well, it's in the garage.
But it went away pretty. I think it within a day it went away. But
It must have been
Well,
freshly
no,
hit.
This says a skunk smell can last on a car for 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh.
well, it didn't on mine. I wouldn't have been able to stand it.
How do you clean skunk off a car? Here you
Yeah,
go. This
thank
is
you,
for both
please.
of you.
How do you
Okay,
clean
thank you.
skunk off a car?
We're going to need this.
Distilled,
Tomato juice, right?
nope. Distilled vinegar and water equal parts,
Okay.
and dishwashing liquid.
I have
All
of
mixed
those.
together.
All mixed together. Liberally
But-
spray the exterior of your car. Pay special attention to the undercarriage and the tires.
That's where it.
Great.
Leave it on for 5 minutes, then rinse thoroughly. Repeat if necessary.
What if I take it to one of these fancy car wash
That's
places?
exactly my thought,
It'll.
too.
I think. That'll.
And I'll tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skunk, what can you
That'll
do?
do it.
Help.
Maybe they have something.
That'll just run it through that. It'll do it.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up this morning when I came in, and I totally spaced it. But even Vax was like pawing at his nose in the car, and I
yeah.
felt so bad because
Well,
it must have been super freshly hit.
Probably.
If
There was a cloud of it in the
sticking
air
that
and-
well to
yeah.
your car and to mine.
But I'm sure it didn't stay on my car all that long, and I ran over it.
You ran yours over.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, see, I think I just passed through, or
Isn't that interesting that it can be that you didn't hit it, just passing through a cloud of it would carry it all the way.
and it may have been some of the, because when they get hit, they get squashed.
And it spreads.
And the sack spreads, and so the sack probably spread it all over the road.
That's what I'm thinking,
And I'm
too.
betting that's what happened.
Now you guys are all concerned about your damn cars. Could we just have a moment, please, for the poor skunk?
Hey, I think skunks are pretty cute. I would own one if I didn't have to deal with the smell. And
Well,
I know you
you-
can get it removed,
you
but
can
my
have them
husband,
descented.
my husband won't allow me to do that as
I
much
don't-
as I would love to.
I
'cause
don't
they're,
blame him.
They're cute. They're really cute, I think.
Cement Dave says, I've made first contact with both skunks and raccoons. The raccoon smell lingered longer than the skunk. But you know what the worst stink that I've ever experienced was? It was during the summer. It was when we lived in Draper. And my car hit a bird I didn't know, and the bird got wedged into the grill.
Oh, man.
And then I parked the car over the weekend, and it was hot. It was summertime. And then I go out there Monday, and it's like, and I couldn't find it. And it was coming in through the vents and everything.
What did you do?
So I had to, sit down and look and dig and take the thing apart, and sure enough, there it was.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one that dealt with this smell this morning because it's bad.
Okay, well, that answers my question. No, I didn't hit a skunk. I just kind of passed through.
You must have passed through it right after it was hit because even mine smells terrible, and I could hear back.
Now the
after
old
you.
now when people would get sprayed with skunk, the old cure for that or remedy for that was you're supposed to take a bath in tomato juice.
I remember that.
But I think that's bunk. But that's what.
Is that one of those old wives' tales?
I think so.
They did it on Seinfeld.
They did?
Well, it must be true.
Then it must be a lie.
Seinfeld doesn't lie.
Yes, they do all the time. It's quite amazing what they.
It's such a strong smell.
Yeah, and they're raccoons stink, and I knew people who've had pet ferrets. They don't. I mean, they don't have a
They're not
spray,
no.
but they smell gamey.
If you don't take care of the ferrets, they do smell. I used to have 2 of them when I was a kid.
Well, didn't they always have that kind of smell?
Not if you take care of them.
When you say take care of them, what is that?
You bathe them on a regular basis, like normal. You actually clean out their cage properly.
How do you bathe a ferret?
You put them in a bathtub.
They like it?
They love it.
Oh, they're okay.
At least my ferrets absolutely loved playing in the water. You put a couple toys in there. There's ferret shampoo.
Wait.
You can wiggle them all
ferret
around.
Shampoo. Yes, there is ferret. Yeah. There's a picture of a ferret on the label. That's how you know.
I loved my ferrets. They were cute.
I've been around them a couple of times. They were the ones I've been around were actually very friendly.
They're super sweet. My buddy used to have one, and he had like those little tunnels that would go like underneath his couch and stuff. And they'd get playtime, and I love
They're
ferrets.
weasels,
Yeah, they're part of the weasel family.
I grew up in a small town, and Salem was much smaller than it is now. And I remember everybody in town remembers when the Coles decided that they were going to become mink farmers. Oh, yes! Finally, after about a year and a half, everybody said, "Really, you gotta get rid of that."
Yeah, no, that's
depending on the wind, the direction it was blowing. Oh man!
And you don't want to have any fresh eggs around if you have ferrets.
Exactly.
They'll suck your eggs.
They will.
Egg suckers. That's
egg suckers.
I'm allergic to the eggs, so you know it's good. We're fine.
Skunks are egg suckers too. Because on this day in 1980, Joy Division filmed the Love Will Tear Us Apart music video, the only promotional video the band ever produced, just so you know. Is this a sponsored feature, Gina?
It's brought to you by the Stateroom Presents, bringing you music memories. Don't miss Tennille Towns with Emily Hicks Wednesday, May 1st at the Stateroom. Tickets are available at thestateroompresents.com.
If you listen very carefully, you'll hear the sound of radios all over the country tuning into one frequency right now. They're all tuning into the nation's most popular game show, Beat Gina. I'm famed Beat Gina announcer Johnny Ola. Guys, remember Mother's Day is fast approaching, and men hate moms with stuffy noses. So this Mother's Day, give the gift that will bring mom some relief. When she begins sniffing, sneezing, and blowing, when her nose turns red and swollen, when she gasps through a wide open mouth and her voice has that nasal twang, say the men, they can't stand it. Today, everybody should know that mentholatum inserted in the nostrils relieves sniffling, stuffiness, sneezing, and other discomforts of a cold. This Mother's Day, relieve sniffling and buy Mom a tin of mentholatum. She'll thank you for it, and you'll be glad you did it. And now, here he is, a host whose nasal passages are always free and clear.
Well,
your MC, Kerry Jackson.
Thank you, Johnny Ola.
You're welcome.
All right. Randomizer has picked a contestant, Gina. It looks like you'll be playing against Nicole today.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
All right, Nicole, we're going to toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you an advantage in the game. You call it, heads or tails.
Heads.
All right. And it is heads. Nicole goes first.
You are one step closer to winning these tickets to see Imagine Dragons October 11th at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater.
All right, so the first question is for Nicole. It's multiple choice pop culture trivia. And you get to answer this question exclusively. If you get it correct, you get the point. If not, I will allow Gina to answer it correctly, stealing the point away from you. And we'll go back and forth till one of you gets 3 points. All right, first question. Let's begin with, I promise it's our last Gabby Hayes trivia question.
The old man of the movies.
Last Gabby Hayes trivia question. He's the old prospector character.
That's right.
From the old Western movies. All right. So here we go. Sorry, Nicole. First question. Unlike many celebrities, what was Gabby awarded? Was it one?
Nicole, are you all
Nicole,
right?
did you fall down?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, she dropped her phone. Nicole, unlike many celebrities, what was Gabby awarded? Is it 1, he is noted as the original EGOT? 2, the George Powell Memorial Award? 3, the Bad Sex in Fiction Award? Or is it number 4, 2 Hollywood stars on the Walk of Fame?
Let's go with number 4.
Correct.
Yes.
Why would he have 2?
One for movies and one for television.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
Gabby
all
was-
the Gabby Hayes trivia.
He was quite the star in his time.
He was, yes.
All right, it's 1-0. Now Gina goes.
Gina.
Mm-hmm.
For Netflix, the Daredevil series was watched so many times that Netflix did something that they have never done before. What did they do? Is it 1, Jell-O shots? Is it 2, I think we will have that second cup of coffee after all?
Carrie never asked for this.
3, took out a billboard in Times Square congratulating the cast and crew? Or 4, released the ratings of the show?
I'm betting it's the ratings.
That is correct.
It's 1-1. More coffee, Carrie?
Oh, thank you.
It's 1-1. Now
All
we
right.
go to Nicole.
Nicole? Elizabeth Olsen trivia. What was her parents' reasoning for choosing Chase as Elizabeth Olsen's middle name? Was it 1, they love Chase Ellison and his role in The Boy Who Cried Werewolf? 2, big fans of Chase Masterson, Lita on Deep Space Nine. No?
Yes.
You don't? All right. 3, Chevy Chase fans, Funny Farm, am I right? Or 4, they wanted her to chase after her sister's success.
Number 2.
Number 2, big fans of Chase Masterson, Lita on Deep Space Nine.
No.
No,
No.
that's not correct.
Oh,
Gina?
okay.
Chance.
She keeps dropping her phone.
Chance to steal, Gina.
Are they that horrible
What do you mean?
that they would name her so she chased her sister's success?
They are that
They're
horrible.
that
Yes, they are.
horrible.
That's
That's awful.
that's 2-1. Well, it worked,
Lord.
didn't it?
I like that.
That's 2-1, Gina, and you control the question. You could win
Okay.
with this. So, but be careful because Nicole may drop her phone again.
Hang
Yes,
on,
I'm
Nicole,
worried
don't
about
hold her.
Okay. Let's see. More Elizabeth Olsen trivia. Growing up, who was Elizabeth Olsen's favorite actress and role model?
Okay.
Was it 1, Carmen Electra? Was it 2, Michelle Pfeiffer? 3, Paris Hilton? Or 4, B. Arthur?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Of course it's
And
Michelle
Gina
Pfeiffer.
wins the game. I'm so sorry.
And it's
Hang
Michelle
on to-
Pfeiffer's birthday today, too.
Really?
Hang on to your phone, Nicole. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Nicole, you might be excited. Even though I beat you, I'm going to give you these Imagine Dragons tickets anyway.
That is awesome.
All right.
Well, hang on then, Nicole.
Listen, I've got to go. I've got to put something in my nose.
News brought to you by...
See unlimited shows in the Dome or IMAX Theater at Clark Planetarium, including cosmic light shows featuring music from some of your favorite bands. Annual memberships start at just $35. Visit clarkplanetarium.org for details.
Russell Brand is taking a step in his faith journey. He announced he's getting baptized.
You mean in his apology tour?
Yeah, saying it's an opportunity to move on from the past. The controversial actor podcast host posted a video in his Instagram recently telling his nearly 4 million followers he's scheduled to be baptized and asking those who'd been through the process to share their experiences. After waxing poetic on religion for a bit, Brand makes a pretty eye-opening statement, saying he's heard it's an opportunity to be reborn and leave the past behind. Brand's got plenty of reason to want to move on from the past, especially the recent past, because sexual assault allegations from years ago have hounded him for the past 6 months or so. Back in September, Brand jumped out ahead of sexual abuse allegations, including claims of rape on his YouTube account, where he categorically denied any wrongdoing. The allegations seemingly sparked an investigation in the UK, though London's Metropolitan Police did not specifically name Brand when they announced the investigation. It seemed pretty clear they were referring to him. It looks as though he's still under investigation, and he's trying to put all of this behind him somehow.
Well, and finding Jesus is your, dare I say it, Hail Mary in the apology tour.
Well, it's always a good go-to. Yeah. You know, hello, really, I found Jesus.
No, really, he
Honest.
was over here.
Yeah.
Jesus is always the last place you look.
So the big Republican convention occurred over the weekend. Trent Staggs, who is running for U.S. Senate, state delegates chose him as the state Republican Party convention nominee to replace Senator Mitt Romney after he was endorsed by former President Donald Trump on Saturday. Trent Staggs is 100% MAGA, running to fill the Mitt Romney, the total loser seat, and the next senator from the great state of Utah, Trump posted.
Ugh.
Staggs won the crowded convention competition for Utah's junior U.S. Senate seat with 69.7% of the vote after delivering a series of fiery speeches to persuade state Republican delegates that he was the man most likely to disrupt Washington, D.C. establishment and support Trump's America First policy agenda.
Ugh.
3rd District Congressman John Curtis finished in second with 30.3% of the vote. The final vote count was not completed until just before midnight after more than 12 hours of party proceedings. Staggs, one of the handful of convention-only candidates, will now advance to the June 25th primary election, where he'll face off against those who qualified by gathering signatures. Those being John Curtis, former House Speaker Brad Wilson, and Moxie Pest Control CEO Jason Walton. He's the bug killer. The atmosphere inside the convention hall was decidedly anti-Spencer Cox, as delegates booed him when he took to the stage. "I love you guys," Cox said, trying to lighten the mood. "We don't love you," one delegate yelled back before
Classic.
Cox moved forward.
Classic.
Quote, "Maybe you're booing me because you hate that I signed the largest tax cut in Utah history. Maybe you hate that I signed constitutional carry into law. Maybe you hate that we ended CRT, DEI, and ESG," Cox said. "Or maybe you hate that I don't hate enough."
That's true.
You know, all of those things, Spencer Cox did because he wanted those people to love him.
Exactly.
And they still don't
They
love
still
him.
don't.
Let's see, the candidates, that about covers it. It was a really ugly session. It was not pleasant, and I don't know what those people. Those people should be ashamed of.
That is the GOP now. That's what they are.
But it's the crazy shows up. That thing went
Yeah.
all day and into the night, and most people like us, like you listening now, you guys have lives and families and jobs and places you have to be and things you have to do. You're not going to give up an entire Saturday into almost Sunday night to be at a convention like that. But the crazy will stick around, and that's what you get.
That's because they care, Gina, and you don't. They care. They're committed.
I care. Send me a ballot in the mail, and I will tell you who I like.
Oh, sure.
I don't need to go sit in a
Make it easy.
convention for hours with crazy
These
people.
things, if we want to win, these things are hard. We got to work hard for them.
You know,
and there's a certain amount of truth to that.
You used to have to do that because that's the only way you could learn about a candidate. I need to go in person and listen to them speak. You don't have to do that anymore. The information is out there.
A Vernal police officer and local resident are both being treated for gunshot wounds at hospital after shooting each other late Saturday night. Vernal police and the Uinta County Sheriff's Office responded to a call of a drunk man threatening a neighbor with a firearm. According to a release by the sheriff's office, police allege the man shot at officers and their vehicles when they arrived, and a Vernal City police officer was shot multiple times while he was trying to get out of his car. Police returned fire, according to the release, shot the suspect, who then briefly fled but was arrested nearby shortly after. The Vernal officer drove himself to a local hospital. He and the suspect both flown to hospitals on the Wasatch Front. They both will recover, it appears. Saratoga Springs police are confirming that there were multiple attempted kidnappings over the last 2 weeks. In a social media post, the Saratoga Springs Police Department said 2 alleged incidents occurred in the Harvest Hills area, which is located west of Redwood Road. Although one of the initial reports was recanted by the complainant, police are still investigating another report, and they've seen increased patrols, or they have increased patrols in the area. The department is asking people with anybody who sees something suspicious to report it to the police. So what the police are confirming here is they have had reports of attempted kidnappings. Yeah. Several of those reports seem credible enough to the police, but the police themselves have not any evidence. Does that make sense? They've just had the reports. They're duly noted. They may be accurate, so be aware of that. It's really sad when this kind of thing happens. An entire Moab, Utah neighborhood is facing the possibility of homelessness, as the city is giving residents of a mobile home park 2 months to get out.
Oh,
I love Moab, said resident Melva Cruz. I've been here so long. My kids grew up here. They don't want to go. I don't want to go. We want to stay here. Cruz and her family have been living on Walnut Lane for 15 years. It's not the nicest place, but it's cheap, she said. We have everything that we need. We want to stay here. We don't want to leave. A few days ago, Ms. Cruz received a notice telling her that she has to leave her trailer home, which she owns, by the end of June.
Because she doesn't own the property it's sitting on.
I started crying, Cruz said. I was like, what am I going to do? It's hard because I don't have a place to take my grandkids, to be honest. I don't have a place to take them. We live together because that's how we can help each other. Moab is expensive. I don't have $8,000 to go rent a place. The city bought the mobile home park in 2018 with the intent of turning it into affordable housing. 6 years later, there's no development, no plan in sight. We were notified in March that the insurer was no longer going to cover Walnut Lane. It was going to be excluded from our insurance policies. And so we just started scrambling how to figure out what to do, explained city manager David Everett. The city held meetings for Walnut Lane residents to tell them about the assistance package they'll be received and to connect them with resources, but residents say they don't feel like they have enough time. The city says they're trying to help, but they say 2 months, we can't find a place in 2 months. The city claims it'll do everything they can to help the residents find housing, like giving them all of them $10,000 if they move out by June 30th. But there's a housing shortage, like every place else. So.
Exactly.
President Biden last night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Nights. It wasn't last night. It was a couple nights.
Was it Saturday night?
Yeah.
2024's election is in full swing, said the president. And yes, age is an issue. I'm a grown man, and I'm running against a 6-year-old.
Hi-oh!
Age is the only thing we have in common, said Biden. My vice president actually endorses me. Mm-hmm. He had a couple of other great lines.
Colin Jost was a really good host, too, by the way.
But Biden had some good lines, and it was a successful outing all in all.
Colin Jost was like, you've got this, New York playboy that helped get rid of Roe v. Wade, and you've got an 80-year-old Catholic man who's trying to bring it back. What?
That's pretty weird.
What's going
on? All right, that's it.
Sports, weather, traffic.
Well, Real Salt Lake is red hot. They beat Philadelphia Union 2-1, and they are at the top of the MLS Western Conference. The Royals, they had a draw over the weekend. We'll just leave it at that. In the NBA, Minnesota Timberwolves over the Suns 122-116. Minnesota wins that series 4-0. The Pacers beat the Bucks 126-113. Indiana leads 3-1. Knicks over the 76ers. Knicks lead that series 3-1. Clippers over the Mavericks. They're tied at 2 apiece. And Denver leads the series over the Lakers 3-1. They won again over the weekend. Let's see. Today the schedule is the Celtics and the Heat. That's a 5:30 game. Thunder and the Pelicans at 6:30, and Lakers and the Nuggets at 8. In the NHL playoffs, you had the Oilers over the Kings yesterday. You had Canucks over the Predators. Let's see. Today we have and then the Rangers over the Capitals and Avalanche over the Jets yesterday. Today you have Lightning and Panthers playing at 5. And the Golden Knights and the Stars at 7:30. That is your sports weather. Mostly sunny today, high of 70. Chance of showers will happen overnight tonight into tomorrow, about a 60% chance. Cold overnight, 38 overnight low. Then the rest of the week, we stay sunny for the most part, and highs in the upper 50s to low 60s, it looks like. Traffic, we have a crash. Southbound SR 36, this is in Stockton at milepost 47. Have to go all the way out there to find something happening. You haven't sent anything in either, but if you see something, say something, text it to us, 33986, and I'll pass it along. Experience the magic and enchantment of Cat and Cauldron, your premier destination for all things occult and metaphysical in Taylorsville, catandcauldron.com.
All right, we got some geek news for you after this, and just after 9 o'clock, it's the Boner Recap Game. Stand.
The place to be. Sure, it was the place to hang out. You always begged your parents to drop you off at the mall. And I look back at those days and I'm like, I hate the mall. I don't need to go there.
I try to avoid it if I can.
I don't recall the last time I was in a mall.
My husband used to work at the E-Bar, the Nordstrom E-Bar at the mall. And that was the only reason I would ever go to the mall.
Just go get a coffee.
Just get coffee from him, say hi, and leave.
Because you were flirting with him?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I was already dating him, but I continues to flirt with him. Why not?
Flirt him.
It keeps the spark alive, right?
Keep flirting,
Keep
Katie,
flirting
don't
with
stop
him.
that.
But
you could flirt with me if you want.
No.
Thanks, Bill, but we're coworkers.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be good, would it?
Weird.
No. It'd be a little weird.
I was always told not to date my coworkers, and then I started dating my husband, who I was working with at the time at the haunted house.
It doesn't
worked
count.
out.
It doesn't count at the haunted
No,
house.
But it worked out.
They mean that everywhere except the haunted house exception.
You should never dip your pen in the company ink. I had not heard that before, and I heard somebody on a television show say it a few days ago.
Really? I've heard that before, and I always thought it was the worst metaphor to say.
It is.
I've heard
it's terrible.
The worst one is don't fish off the company pier.
I don't know. I think dipping in the company ink is worse.
No,
they're both
what
pretty
I'm saying,
bad.
What I'm saying, dipping your pen in a company ink is descriptive.
Yeah.
Fishing off the company pier is not. It's like, huh? What do you mean? What am I? Huh?
There's a lot of fish in the sea.
You're fishing
maybe
for a
I don't
date.
know. I don't know.
It's more precise to say, don't dip your pen in the company ink.
Just don't date your coworkers. How about that?
But companies have policies against it. But I know many instances of people
that
developing,
that.
or there wasn't a policy and they had relationships at work. And
it depends on if you're in a position of power. Like if you're equals, if you both do the same thing.
Well, where's the point of that? I mean, I want to date up, man. I want my CEO to be a hot woman who wants to date me.
Bill just wants a sugar mama. That's
right.
what he wants.
That's right. That would be nice.
I'm glad I'm not dating anymore.
I don't think I know how to date anymore.
You know what, Gina? The dating world is glad you're not dating anymore. Because you didn't do that much of it anyway.
No, I didn't.
I feel like it's changed so much I wouldn't even know how to date.
I've never dated. Never, I don't.
You just get married.
I
used to say that about my dad. He doesn't date. He just gets married.
No, I've only been married twice. Yeah, twice. Wait a minute. Yeah, twice. But
and you met your first wife when you were very young, and then you've been married for another 20 some odd years. So
yeah, but there was dating that went on in there too somewhere.
A little bit.
You know.
You want to be careful here?
Well, it's way long time ago. It's water way under the bridge.
Oh, okay.
But I never dated.
Like, would you like to go to dinner with
Yeah.
me on Friday night? You didn't do that?
No, not too much.
I think I did that like with one person in college, and that was it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it was just hanging out.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out.
And wait, now everybody left, and it's just me and you hanging out.
Yeah.
Is that how
Yeah,
it would
basically,
go?
yeah, pretty
Oh,
much.
everybody's gone now.
And oh my, you really are hanging out.
Is that
That's my company. That's my pen. Where's the company ink?
All right.
I love hanging around with women. You guys
well,
are
you're going
fun.
to do it all week.
All week. Yeah, you're stuck with us.
I know, I like it.
A lot of estrogen in here.
I've often said I'd rather hang around with women than with men. I know what men are like, and I don't care for them.
All right, 8:47 right now, and it's Geek News brought to you by.
Brought to you by, don't miss the super clearance sale happening now at Haster Games. All clearance items are being sold 75% off MSRP. Select card games, board games, miniatures, paints, game accessories, 75% off. Located at 6831 South State and online at hastergames.com.
All right. Now, this last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon movie was quite enjoyable.
Okay.
It was quite good,
Okay.
I thought.
All right.
And it did well enough that Paramount decided, let's do another animated series. Why not? And so that's going to be on Paramount Plus exclusively. Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is what it's called. And
Okay.
they've released another short trailer for it. They don't have a release date, just this summer. That's all we know.
This summer, stream the new series Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I got this. Never mind, I don't got this. Guys!
Catch Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with your family.
I need new butts to kick.
Dude, you shouldn't be so aggro.
Streaming this summer only on Paramount Plus.
Now, it's the same kids who did the voices for the
Okay.
movie. The animation style is not the same. It's mimicking it.
Okay.
They're going to a cheaper route, obviously, but it looks pretty good. I think your kids will enjoy that. Be prepared to buy the action figures, is what I'm trying to say. Now, I love this kind of marketing. I'll call it guerrilla marketing for the new Planet of the Apes movie.
I get it.
Do we have that picture, Katie? Do we have that handy? This was
Oh,
cited.
I've seen this, yeah.
This was cited outside of San Francisco.
I love it.
No explanation given.
I love it.
No, no talking or anything. They just showed up and rode along the hills.
I love it.
And it's three. They're chimps.
Are they chimps or gorillas?
Oh no, they're guys in suits, but they are chimps.
Mhm.
And they just three of them just riding in the hills up above San Francisco.
I love it.
No explanation. No. See the movie. No nothing. Just,
No explanation needed.
I love it. Just that kind of just terrific. It's San Francisco's West Bluff picnic area. Didn't say a word.
It's chimp marketing.
SF Gate claims cyclists nearly fell off their bikes upon seeing them. And this also happened in Los Angeles, Venice Beach.
Well, because isn't San Francisco...
Just outside of San Francisco is where the first three take place.
That's what I thought.
In the Muir Redwoods, across the bridge. But the ones that showed up at Venice Beach, they just kind of stood there and stared at people. Didn't say anything. Just, this for
Well
the
done.
new Planet of the Apes movie that's coming in
They
May.
didn't even grunt.
Not a grunt, not a thing. I love it. I love that kind of thing. All right. Star Wars. Oh,
I've heard of that.
I tried the blue milk, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the
And?
stores.
Is it too sweet? It's too sweet.
It's like drinking vanilla ice cream. I don't know what they've done to it to make it thicker than milk. But yeah,
But you wouldn't want to add it to cereal?
that was my thought. I'm
Yeah.
gonna use this in cereal. No, too sweet.
Too much.
Too much. But anyway, so yeah, it's available in stores. But Star Wars, you got May the 4th coming up with some new Star Wars cartoons on your Disney Plus. But we do have news about the latest Star Wars film that is being prepared to shoot. Now, you got James Mangold, who's a very good director. He did that Wolverine death movie, Logan or whatever it was called. And he knows his stuff. He's going to direct, but now he's let us know that the writer, and this is good news, the writer for this is House of Cards creator Beau Willman. He's going to write the script. It's tentatively being referred to as Dawn of the Jedi, because Mangold is expected to be focusing on the film after he's finished working on these other movies. He's working on this Bob Dylan biopic right now and a bunch of other stuff. But this is not Willman's first try in Star Wars. He wrote one of the most incredible arcs of the already incredible first season of Andor. And again, it's a show. If you haven't watched it, it's some damn good Star Wars. He wrote the prison storyline in Narkina 5, Nobody's Listening, and One Way Out. And these are quoted by Star Wars fans over and over again as some of the best writing that Star Wars has seen possibly ever. So he's doing the script, and that's good news. The Martian. You saw The Martian, right?
Yep.
Matt Damon?
Yep.
Matt Damon.
It was good.
Well, it's based on a book by Andy Weir.
Right.
And years ago, his sci-fi novel Project Hail Mary was being optioned as a film with Ryan Gosling in the lead role. They've got it taken care of, and Ryan Gosling is going to do it. He plays Ryland Grace, a school teacher turned astronaut who wakes up from a coma riddled with amnesia and aboard the space station Hail Mary.
Okay.
Eventually, he starts to put his memories back together. He realizes he was sent to the Tau Ceti solar system to reverse a solar dimming event that could wipe out humanity.
Okay. I'm there. I'm
So,
listening.
like The Martian, the book received a lot of good reviews, became a finalist for the Hugo Awards in 2022. But so
Yeah,
they
my kids like The Martian because it's all the good science. Like this, the science checks out.
Exactly.
That's why they like it.
And that's what this guy specializes in, and so that's what the show is going to be. Let's see. A video game called El Paso Elsewhere has been optioned for a film. Lakeith Stanfield, very good actor, teaming up with Lorenzo di Bonaventura for El Paso Elsewhere. It's an adaptation of this. It's called a neo-noir vampire video game. He's in talks to star and produce. He won't direct. The game centers on a vampire hunter named James Savage, who is on the hunt for his ex-girlfriend named Janet, a.k.a. Draculae, L-A-E, not La, who seeks to bring out the end of the world. So
Okay.
I trust he's a good actor, so I think that's going to be good. And finally, this. Sony, would you just give up all of these Spider-Man villain movies, please?
Are they getting it wrong again?
It's clear that they don't know what they're doing. It's clear that they don't have faith even in themselves.
What's the problem?
Kraven the Hunter has been pushed back even further now. This is the third time they've pushed this thing back. It was going to be in October. Now they're saying, December. We mean it this time.
Okay.
I don't know what their deal is. I mean,
Well, maybe they're trying to get it right.
I don't know. See, I was thinking they must have some faith in it because they put it in the Christmas movie season.
Yeah.
Sure.
But then I had some other industry people say, no, it's because they want to stay far away from Deadpool. And they think that, if there's an R-rated superhero movie at at Christmas time, people will go even if it's bad. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Traffic.
A crash northbound I-15 at the 215 junction. Infinity member says Highway 68 north of Mosita. Nothing but sheep on the highway. I had to look and see that.
Where is that?
It's up by the other side of the lake. It's
the other side of
Utah Lake. Like,
oh,
I'd never heard of it before, but it's a place apparently. Infinitine goes everywhere. So thank you for that. Brought to you by the Stateroom Presents, bringing you music memories. Don't miss Tennille Towns with Emily Hicks, Wednesday, May 1st at the Stateroom. Tickets are available at thestateroompresents.com.
All right, we will take a break. We will be back after these messages and a song with the Boner Recap game. Easy game to play and win. If you heard who won the Boner today, you're going to win.
Yeah.
Because you know the answer to the question, who won the Boner. If you didn't hear, cheat. I encourage you. X96.com. Go to the Boner voting section where it says April 29, 2024, and click on there, and you will see it says the word winner right next to the one that was the winner. And what is the prize? Oh, this is the prize.
Yeah, we have a I don't know how, but they found me T-shirt. And you can see it.
That's from Dallon's personal collection.
Yeah, x96.com/live. It's right there.
Yeah,
so.
that's a nice shirt.
So 877-602-9696 is the number to call. Play and win. It's the Boner Recap game. Do it. All right. The Davis Robotics team. We ask you to donate money to them for their big competition. Well, let's find out. They're here in the studio.
Yeah, we've got Dante, Joshua, and Maddie here, members of the Davis High School Robotics team. They went to the World Championships, right, in
Texas.
In Dallas, was it?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And we raised some money to help you get there. I forget how much it was, but it was a
almost 2,000 or a little over, something like that.
Yeah,
very nice friends of the program donated to.
We did that on a GoFundMe, and that was kind of a drop in the bucket, I think, for the amount of money you needed to get there. But you got there.
Yep.
How many days were you in Dallas, Maddie?
So we were in Dallas from the 24th to the 28th, so 4 days.
4 days. And how many teams were there, robotics teams?
So there are approximately like 800 teams competing.
Oh, wow.
And then 80 teams per division with 10 divisions.
That's a lot of competition.
And from how many countries?
I don't know exactly how many, but there were teams from countries all over the world. Like there were lots of China teams there.
Oh,
there
of
were
course.
Yeah, so teams from all over the world. I don't know the exact count, though.
But lots of them.
Yeah.
Now, have any of the three of you, Dante, been to this before? Or is this the first time?
No, this was the first time for me, and it was an amazing experience. I got to make friends, like, from around the world, learn about different cultures. Like, there was a team from India and Australia and Morocco, just everywhere.
Yeah. And Joshua, is this the first time for you, or have you been before?
This is actually my second year going to the World Competition.
An old veteran, huh?
Yeah, I kind of know the place.
I can show you guys where to eat. And, so Joshua, give me an idea. What are the requirements? You build these robots, and are there certain requirements that you have to accomplish certain tasks with them?
Yeah, so the tasks change from year to year, but this year the goal was to shoot discs into like a frisbee golf goal using the robots. And there's just a lot of different challenges. Like you have to have good programming on the robot and good structural integrity on the robot because there's a lot of pushing and
And are there fights?
there can sometimes be some pretty intense robot fights.
Yeah. And how did you guys do ultimately?
We did all right, but we ended up getting the design award.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. And tell me about that, Maddie. What is?
So the design award is basically an award given to teams based on their interview and then their engineering notebook. So I do the engineering notebook for my team, and that's how we won the design award. We couldn't have done it without our other team members, Brad, Chandler, and Gracie. But ultimately, we are interviewed by a panel of judges, like multiple times, and then they determine which team has the best interview and the best notebook to win the design award.
Nicely
So,
done. Nice. I'd like to see the notebook. That sounds
Yeah.
great. So this was a lot of fun, and you can create a robot that shoots discs into a target. What practical application does this have, or is it just for fun?
Well, it's more just so like practicing the engineering process and figuring out how to create solutions to a problem. with the discs specifically, I can't think of one off the top of my head where that could be an application. It's more just so the process.
Yeah, I gotcha. You get the design award. That's pretty terrific.
Yeah.
Will you all go again? You wanna do this again?
So I'm actually a senior, so this was my last year competing. But Josh and Dante still have a few more years. So.
What do you want to do with this? I mean, you want to continue to design robots, Maddie?
So there's Vex U, which is university level, but the college I'm going to, I don't think has a team, so I won't be able to continue with it. But I know some of my friends that plan on continuing.
What do you want to do with what's your career going to be?
I plan on going into environmental engineering.
Wow.
So.
Excellent. How about you, Joshua?
Ooh, I don't exactly know what I am going into yet. Something in the STEM field, probably.
You still have some time. You're not a senior yet.
Yeah.
So.
And Dante, do you have any sort of dreams for the future of what you might want to be?
I don't know for sure, but I really want to get into MIT. So
nice.
That's what I know for sure.
That's a lofty goal indeed, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Not easy. And thanks for you guys. Also, Dante brought us some gifts, which was very nice.
Yeah, Carrie's going to be jealous. Dante brought me Guardians of the Galaxy Lucky Charms.
And I've got some blood orange ginger kombucha from the Brew Doctor, and flowers for us, and some. These pretzels, these peanut butter pretzels are delicious.
Yeah, I try with ice cream.
With ice cream?
Yeah.
Come on, Dante. That's getting a little much.
A couple of texts we got. River Robotics says hi. We're going to beat you in state next year. Let's go, they say. Somebody else says, when you talk to the Davis Robotics team, give a big shout out to their coach, Dane. He's an awesome leader of that group. Tell them everyone from, that's for Bear River.
From Bear River Robotics.
Who is your coach?
Our coach is Dane Leifson.
And what's so great about Dane Leifson?
He's always pushing us to work our hardest, and he's always making sure we're staying productive, and he encourages us to push ourselves to try to compete at the highest level.
So are you guys now heroes at the school?
I don't know. We're not as good as the football team yet.
I was going to ask.
Yes, you are.
You get letter jackets and that kind of. You don't get letter jackets.
No.
You should.
I think you could, couldn't you?
You ought to be able to letter in robotics.
I mean, if they let the theater people have Letterman's jackets, you guys.
Because it's a competition. You were in a competition.
Yeah.
Well, then Gina, why don't you fix this?
I will.
for
I'll
them?
fix
I mean,
Gina will
they
take
should
care
have. They should have sent the cheerleading squad down with you.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just one takeaway highlight. What was the most exciting or the most fun you had?
At Worlds or just in robotics in general?
Or either or.
I think getting to know new people, because like everyone in robotics is like family. We spend like 15 to 20 hours a week working together. So we're basically siblings at this point. So just getting to know everyone and building those super close relationships has been super fun.
And you get in fights like siblings do.
Oh,
too?
yeah, 100%.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Joshua, what about you?
I love the overall feel of the competition. I love being able to compete, and when you win or you lose, you still just get the sense of, accomplishment that, you were able to do a task and compete with that. And
how about you, Dante? What do you take away from all of this?
I just like working together with everyone in robotics is kind of my happy place because I don't need to deal with anything else, and I'm around with kids. They don't care what they look like. They just want to build robots and have fun.
Yeah.
And same with Josh about winning or losing. It's really the experience that we gain from this, and that's what I love about robotics.
You guys are so damned idealistic. I can't.
You found your people. Isn't that fun to find your people?
Yeah. I just love being around and just working on that.
When I was in high school, I found my people. They were the ones that smoked in the parking lot.
Those aren't good people.
Those were my people. Go out and smoke in the parking lot.
Couple more texts. These kids sound more intelligent than most adults I know.
One second, Donnie. Hang on. Go ahead, Carrie.
There's a couple of texts here. These kids sound more intelligent than most adults I know.
Yeah.
Another text, shout out to Davis Robotics from the Green Acres Elementary Robotics team. Our 6th graders won the Create Award in the elementary competition.
Excellent.
Oh. What were you going to say, Dante? Go ahead.
I just wanted to thank everyone that supported us, all our listeners that donated to the GoFundMe and X96 too, but our listeners, we couldn't get there without them. And we just want to do a shout out to them and to our other sponsors like Real Salt Lake. We got Logan Pro and Big O Tires.
Oh, good. Excellent. Big
All friends of the program, those businesses.
Yeah. All right. Congratulations, you guys. You didn't have to bring gifts, but thanks for the pretzels. That was very nice, and way to go. And next year, you'll win first place. Yeah?
Bill knows.
You will.
Can tell.
Thanks a lot, Bill.
Keep us posted.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations, you guys.
And we're gonna take
Gina.
some. We're gonna take a picture of these guys,
Yeah.
and we'll post that on our social medias and all of that stuff. So thanks a lot. I don't know how, but they found me. Choke is the song.
Oh, Ashley and Kearns loves I Don't Know How, but they found me. Well, she calls him IDK How in Kearns.
All right. Well, then let's get on with the IDK How themed boner recap.
All right, let's. We have a contestant?
Yes, Dawn.
Dawn.
There's Dawn.
Hello, Dawn.
Hello.
Dawn, it's
Finally.
that Dawn. How are you, Dawn?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm fine, just fine.
There you go.
Hi, Dawn. Dawn, I'm glad you made it through because you have a chance to win this fine prize, which is a I Don't Know How, but They Found Me T-shirt from the personal collection.
Of Dallin Weeks.
Dallin Weeks.
Can't wait.
All right. Dawn, I know you know who the
I
boner...
I will don it proudly.
All right. Dawn, I'm going to read the candidates. You tell me who the winner was, and I know you know who it is, but let's just go through it. Let's go through the formality of this, shall we?
Okay.
All right. Boner candidate number 1. Because you want people to think you peed yourself, fashion designer has created a pair of pants, jeans, that has a wet patch. It looks like a wet patch across the crotch. So it's just a stupid thing. Boner candidate number 2, morality police on the watch in St. George. A Utah woman charged with sexual battery after she told police, yes, indeed, she did pull down a teenage woman's skirt because her ass cheeks were showing. That's inappropriate. And she reached over and pulled down her skirt, and that's inappropriate. And then there's boner candidate number 3. I think this is actually calculated to make her look even better to the MAGA world. Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, said she killed her dog Cricket because it needed doing.
She hated the dog.
She hated the dog.
She hated the dog.
The dog was untrainable. And I didn't like that damn goat either, and I killed a goat too. That was boner candidate number 3. Which one was the winner, Dawn?
It's the governess.
Yes, indeed, it is. Number 3. It's like 178 votes, I think.
Yep.
All right, Dawn. Dawn, you congratulations. You get the T-shirt.
Hang on the line.
You know, there are dogs that. So her rationale is, well, I wanted him to be a hunting dog, and he wasn't going to be a good hunting dog. Okay, he doesn't have to be a good hunting dog. He could just be a dog.
Yeah.
And if not for you, for someone else.
Well, he was a chicken killer too, Gina. Don't forget that. And he bit her.
He probably bit her because he knows she's a horrible woman.
Well, she didn't know how to train him.
She didn't train him well.
No.
That's the thing.
That was the problem.
You can't blame anybody but her for this.
And the goat, I don't know why she killed the goat.
I don't know why she swallowed the flies.
Perhaps she'll die.
Just doing the same thing in my mind.
No, there are people that get dogs for a reason, and they don't work. You know, it happens all the time with police dogs.
Yeah,
they'll get police dogs, and they're like, oh, he's too sweet. He doesn't have the temperament for being a police dog. Okay, so he can't do that job. He can go do something else.
Yeah. I mean, what was Amy telling us about earlier? That they've got dogs trained to sniff out bed bugs in hotel rooms.
Which I think is super cool. I kind of want one of those just as my personal dog.
Yeah.
To take
Well,
to hotel
I
room.
think I understand that you guys are focusing on this dog, but what about the poor goat?
And the goat,
I'm
too.
curious about the goat as well.
She says she okay, here's what she says
What
about it.
did she say about the goat?
Let's see. She reportedly, she writes that the goat, she dragged the goat to the gravel pit like she did with her dog Cricket, but the killing did not go smoothly. The goat jumped when she pulled the trigger, Noem says, meaning the goat survived the shot.
Yeah.
She adds that she went to her truck to get another shell and then hurried back to the gravel pit and put him down.
So that's her thing, is to go to the gravel pit
and kill goats and dogs. Yeah, it still doesn't tell me why.
Yeah, why
she
did you
wanted
kill
to
the
kill
goat?
the goat.
Well, she hated the goat. The goat was mean to her. Who knows?
It doesn't say.
There are other options.
Yeah,
many.
You can train goats to sniff out bed bugs.
Yeah, somebody says the best dog I ever had was a failed guide dog.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the name of that movie about the guide dog puppy movie that the Sundance movie, remember? Well, they take the puppies like from the time they're tiny and they're bred to be guide dogs, but not all of them. It's pretty rigorous.
They don't all make it.
Yeah, pretty rigorous training. And then the other ones just become pets. Not all dogs can do all jobs.
Her family, she writes, also owned a goat that was nasty and mean because it had not been castrated.
Christy Nome?
Yeah. Furthermore, the goat smelled disgusting, musky, and rancid.
It's a goat.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah, here, I've got
and
that.
love to chase Nome's children, knocking them down and ruining their clothes.
They ruined their clothes.
At that point,
You live
she
on a
writes,
farm.
She realized that a construction crew had watched her kill both animals. The startled workers swiftly got back to work, she writes, only for a school bus to arrive and drop off Nome's children.
At the gravel pit?
This whole story is...
Kennedy looked confused. Kennedy looked around confused, Nome writes of her daughter, and asked, "Hey, where's Cricket?" Nome says, "I guess if I were a better politician, I wouldn't tell that story here." Oh, I think she.
Okay, so you're admitting you're not a good politician.
I think she's doing it because she thinks it will make her look better in the long run.
Well,
she says it's to illustrate her willingness in politics as well as in life to do anything difficult, messy, and ugly if it needs to be done.
I mean, she's not going to. I mean, Trump needs suburban women to do any, make any progress in the race at all. He's not going to get if this dog killer is his running mate.
I'm telling you, every single woman at that Republican convention here in Salt Lake on Saturday,
you're
every
right.
single one of those delegate women would go for no.
No, you're absolutely right. The MAGA base doesn't care. They'll love this, but you got to convert the independents. And the independents are going to go, dog killer? No, don't think so.
Well, we'll see. Christy Nome.
And Guy in the chat room found an old picture of her and a current picture of her.
Put us side by side.
Side by side.
She's had a lot of work.
She's had the MAGA makeover.
The MAGA makeover is exactly
it's the
how you
same
put
thing
it.
that Kimberly Guilfoyle, find an old picture of Kimberly Guilfoyle in a new one.
They all
have
this
MAGA makeover.
They talk about in the Guardian. They talk about political candidates and dogs. Nixon got
Checkers.
He got Checkers as a dog named Checkers as a political gift, and people were down on him for that. And then, of course, Mitt Romney tied Seamus to the top of the car,
top of the roof
for the cross-country trip.
And he got in trouble for that.
But people forgot, in this story in The Guardian, they forget Lyndon Baines Johnson, LBJ. He had beagles, and he picked them up by their ears.
He did.
There's pictures of him doing it.
Well, they like it, he said.
No, they don't. All right. Now, Mateo seems to think, says even Trump fans on Twitter are saying killing a dog is a non-starter.
Yeah, this isn't going as well as she wanted it to.
Well, okay, we'll see. Anyway, we'll take a break. We'll be back with some big boy news and opinioendo all on the way. Stand by. UtahAdvocates.com.
I think they're still doing the food drive.
Yeah, it's the end of April.
End of April, yeah.
So today, do it today. If you have some non-perishable food you'd like to donate to the Murray Children's Pantry, you can take it to any Advocates locations. But because we're at the end of the month, might just be easier to donate via Venmo at Advocates Donations, and they'll do the shopping for you.
And remember, if you've been involved in an accident, if you've been hurt in an accident, a rear end or a T-bone or something like that, hit by a distracted or impaired driver, or bit by a dog, or clipped while you're riding your bike, contact the Advocates. 801-355-5550. You can call them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also go to their website, utahadvocates.com, and chat 24/7. And they don't charge you a dime. There's no money out of pocket for the call or the representation. They only take a bit of the settlement once they get that for you. So call them. The Advocates, 801-355-55. I was just looking in our chat room here, and who did this? Oh, it's Ivy. This place, the Killer Cereal, the Serial Killers,
Serial Killers,
Serial Killers Kitchen. Where is it?
Fourth and Fourth.
This looks just incredible. Yeah. These people should advertise with us.
They should.
They should have Kerry Jackson be their spokesperson.
They should.
He is a cereal expert.
It's at the local market and bar. There are all kinds of, but all these cereal and ice cream combinations.
Mm-hmm.
I
the
think
best combinations.
I think I really need to go there. Oh, there's all kinds of cereal stuff.
Yeah.
Why haven't I been to this place?
Well, I never thought of you as a cereal lover, Bill.
I'm not.
You're a very basic cereal.
I'm not
person.
I'm not a cereal lover when it's just cereal, but when you're starting to mix it into stuff.
Oh, like with ice cream.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the greatest thing.
Yeah, I don't generally just sit down and eat a bowl of cereal. That's not my thing. But.
See, I'll do that if my husband's out of town or not home for dinner. I'll have a bowl of cereal for dinner. Sure.
But you mix it up in ice cream, and they got shakes there as well.
Oh, this looks really good.
Oh, stuff in my cereal, or in my ice cream. Ice cream in my. You got ice cream in my cereal.
By the way, Kerry Jackson has ice cream belonging to me in his freezer.
That doesn't sound right. That does not sound right.
There are several flavors. We just got to figure out how to get it to you, because we ordered the Pop-Tart ice cream. And
cinnamon brown sugar
Pop-Tart Jetty's ice cream. It's the most expensive, and I got to be honest with you, that Pop-Tart ice cream is damn near perfect.
Well, you don't.
It really is.
You know, you can, Gina. You can just from this Serial Killers. You can just order the stuff and they'll bring it to your house. You don't have to go to Carrie's.
Oh,
they'll bring it to your house.
Apparently.
The other.
I don't know how you travel ice cream like that.
Let me see.
The other flavor that we did from Jenny's, everything bagel.
This I don't get.
I know it doesn't sound right, but it's delicious. So you get it's cream cheese flavored ice cream with the everything bagel sprinkles mixed throughout it. That's delicious. But then what we did was we went and got a bagel, buttered it up, real butter, toasted it, and while it was hot, plopped the ice cream on top of it.
Like made an ice cream sandwich, kind of.
It just, with open face. And that was delicious.
That sounds perfect.
It was delicious.
I may have spoken too soon. Maybe you can just order online and go pick it up. I'm not sure.
I just think ice cream's
No, it says, they will deliver it.
Oh.
You know, there's this stuff called dry ice. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
But
you've ordered ice cream through the mail from across the country, right?
Yes, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Also, there's the candy bar ice cream, which is Take 5 candy bar.
Which I love.
But they don't call it Take 5 because I don't know if they have the rights to do it.
But
they call it High Five is what it's called.
It's pretzel and peanut butter and
peanut and chocolate, all of that stuff.
A cereal milkshake.
I'm hungry.
I need to keep my eye open for the monster cereals. They should be arriving very soon because we're coming up on monster cereal season.
It's not till fall, is it?
How soon before Halloween do they come out?
Usually a couple of months before. But they got the new flavor, the new monster cereal.
Oh, what is it?
Carmela Creeper.
That sounds good.
And it's caramel apple flavor.
That sounds good.
right, 9:20 right now. And let's get to some big boy news and Opinioendo, brought to you by...
This season, the new Nate and Jeremiah collection for living spaces is an updated, well-traveled take on coastal living designed to mix and match easily with pieces you already own. You can elevate your home with these unique finds only at Living Spaces.
Well, in a commencement speech full of humor, heart, and plenty of "that's what she said" jokes, actor Rainn Wilson shared with graduates on Friday his secrets for happiness, or what he referred to as advice for not ending up like a grumpy old jerk face. Wilson walked to the podium at Weber State University's ceremony to roaring cheers and shouts of "We love you, Dwight." You know, his role, Dwight Schrute, on The Office. "Blood alone moves the wheels of history," he yelled, throwing his fist into the air. The audience screamed in excitement at the reference because from an episode where the character Dwight gives a speech upon winning Paper Salesman of the Year, and he ends up being tricked into quoting a dictator. "Wait, no, stop," Wilson joked about on the stage in Ogden. What am I thinking? That's terrible. Quoting a long-canceled television show, Dwight Schrute quoting Jim Halpert, quoting Benito Mussolini, of all people. He clarified for the crowd of students in purple gowns filling the rows of seats. This isn't Dwight's speech. This is Rainn's speech. They say apparently he was very entertaining and very serious, too. Set aside concerns about the identity theft. It was a romping combination of both the actor and the role that's come to define him. He says, "I have something much bigger and better in store for you. That's what she said." That was his last joke. It was announced last month that Wilson was selected to speak at the graduation. It's the first time he's done a graduation speech. He said, and he was also awarded an honorary doctorate degree by the university. Now, I'm a rather distinguished alum of Weber State
Would you want to give a graduation speech? That's a big...
Sure. And I wouldn't mind doing it, but I'd like the honorary doctorate. That's for damn sure. He spoke about the challenges he's faced in his career, his mental health struggles, his addiction struggles. He's struggled with that. He said the power he relied on to battle depression, loneliness, and anxiety was love, altruism, friends, and hope. He quoted Martin Luther King Jr., E.M. Forrester, and SpongeBob. And
apparently it was really good.
Yeah.
My sister, she's a professor at Weber State. She said that everybody loved him. It was a great speech.
Yeah, and I thought it was really funny. They described it when they gave him his honorary doctorate. He patted that bald guy. He patted that guy on the head and said, "Thank you." Patted him on the head. His key takeaways for living a happy and meaningful life: gather a bouquet of virtues, become other-centered. I guess that means other than self-centered. Let's see. Live like it's Dungeons and Dragons. Not sure what that means.
He meant get off your phone and interact with people.
Devote yourself to love and keep hope alive. So, he told the story about talking to his acting teacher about being depressed and sad about the world, and his acting teacher said, Don't do it. You can't be cynical. You can't be pessimistic. If you do, then they win.
Mm-hmm. It's hard not to.
Yeah, it is. Law enforcement officers and the public in Washington State came together Sunday to take a rare hazard off the road: runaway zebras. But despite successfully corralling 3 of them after they bust loose from North Bend on the eastern outskirts of Seattle, there's still apparently one of these zebras on the loose. Trooper Rick Johnson, a public information officer for Washington State Patrol District 2, said the zebras got loose on Interstate 90. He posted a picture of the animals as 3 were roaming free before troopers and the public came together to secure their capture. He said the animals escaped and their owner stopped to secure the trailer. He said, "I saw some cars try and get into corral them into a neighborhood to fence them in, but they just started hanging out in the grass of somebody's yard across the street." I thought you said there was a
Keep
rodeo
going.
clown in here.
Keep going.
Where? Well, oh, there it is. The bizarre rescue effort
There we
involved
go.
a rodeo clown who happened to be passing by. They had this rodeo clown, Gene's Wall. He was on his way, I guess, to the rodeo, and they were using him to help to corral the zebras.
How can you reenact how they called him over to help? Can you
Huh?
Jeans, you going to be able to help round up them zebras?
Oh, kind of scrapey.
Oh, he says he doesn't do zebras. He only does horses.
Oh, the horses. The zebras are kind of scrapey, you know.
No, them horses ain't been in a jail.
It's hard to see, though, when they're standing by the fence.
Okay, is that enough, Gina? Oh, Gene's
My
Wall.
favorite bit.
It's
not often rodeo clowns come up in the news.
That's true. We'll call Christy Noam and see if she can help.
Yeah. Let's see what else is going on here. Well, Fish, the band.
Yes.
Drew Carey proclaimed last week that he would stick his member in a blender after seeing Fish. So why did he?
Okay, here's what happened.
He would stick his member in a blender if he could see Fish.
Here's what happened.
Okay.
I watched this show after midnight.
Mhm.
Taylor Tomlinson hosts. It's a
Okay.
fake game show,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they have comedians come on and they do funny stuff. Now, last week, and this is one of the funniest hours of TV I've seen in a long time, the guests were Drew Carey, Thomas Lennon, and Weird Al Yankovic.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, Weird Al's usually the funny one on the show. He was the least funny one on the show, but he was still funny. But for some reason, in the middle of the show, Drew Carey went out from behind his table there, and he went into the middle of the stage and started going on about what a great time he had at the Sphere in Vegas watching Fish. And that he'd never seen Fish before.
Blew his mind.
It blew his mind. He was, it was just one of the greatest shows he's ever seen. And that's what happened.
So he said, I would give all my money,
Yeah.
stick in a blender and swear off, I'll say sex, for the rest of my life in exchange for. And so the band sent him a blender, and they signed it. They said, Drew, thank you. See you next time. Happy blending.
Now, that was not the reason that the show was so funny.
Why was it so funny?
The three of them
They just-
were, and Taylor were just firing off on each other, and it worked. And so get your Paramount Plus subscription and go and watch that.
After midnight is
After
called?
midnight, specifically that episode.
Okay. And you watch it fairly. Is it usually pretty good?
It's always pretty good. Well, I'm particular about, I'll look to see who the guests are.
Yeah.
And if they're people I know are funny, I'll watch.
Let's see. Bill Wyman talks about leaving the Rolling Stones. He was officially a member of the Stones from 1962 to 1993, but now, with his old bandmates preparing to set off on tour again this week, the 87-year-old Bill Wyman has spoken to The Mirror about his surprise decision to leave the band. I left in 91, but they wouldn't believe me, he said. They refused
I didn't hear you, Bill.
They refused to accept that I had left. It was not until 93 when they were starting to get together to tour in 94, and they said, you actually now have left, haven't you? And I said, I left 2 years ago. They finally accepted it. So they say I left in 1993. Explaining his decision, he said, I just had enough. It was half my life, and I thought, I've got other things I want to do. I want to do archaeology. I want to write books. I want to have photo exhibitions and play charity cricket. I used to read about ancient cultures while I was on the road and take photos as well. I had this whole other life that I wanted to live. So he spent the last 30 years writing books, hunting for treasure as a metal detectorist.
Really?
He does that with a metal detector. And collecting a range of things, including stamps, music hall posters, and uniquely, Rupert Bear annuals. Rupert Bear.
I don't know what that is.
I'm guessing it's a comic book character or of some sort. Look up Rupert Bear. Growing up in the war, we did not have presents, but we had Rupert Bear annuals. Oh, here we go. Which we shared. I used to read them to younger ones. Yeah, I think it's like a comic book or a comic strip. It was something that stuck with me. I have other stuff, Rupert scarves and badges. So it's one of those, one of those British things. Little Mermaid, getting a bloody R-rated adaptation.
Why do we have to do this?
Because the rights are available.
The horror version of The Little Mermaid is on its way. The synopsis for the movie reads, Dr. Eric Prince, an archaeologist, makes a dramatic discovery on a small Caribbean island. There's a picture of the poster at x96.com/live. Proof of an ancient and advanced prehistoric society. While his dig is in progress, he meets the mysterious and beautiful Aurora Bay and falls in love. Her arrival coincides with several mermaid sightings, and then they discover that there are forces of evil at work.
There are several evil mermaid movies. You didn't have to wait for this one, you know.
Yeah.
If that's what you were looking for.
And Pauly Shore said he was up all night crying
Aw.
after Richard Simmons shared his disapproval of the biopic that Pauly was doing. Pauly says, you guys, I was up all night crying regarding Richard Simmons' tweet. Richard, how do you not approve of this movie? I mean, really, who better to play you in a movie than me?
Just because you have the hair doesn't mean you should.
Leonardo DiCaprio's not going to play you. Brad Pitt's not going to play you. I'm perfect. Everyone already thinks I'm you. We're the same. We're beautiful inside and out. Shore then urged Richard Simmons to listen to the pitch before deciding against the film. So I guess they've made it, or they're...
Yeah, it was at Sundance.
Oh,
Well,
was it?
The short was.
The short. Oh.
They did a short with him to, kind of shop it around to see if people were interested.
But Richard Simmons continues to say, I do not approve of this. All right.
Let it go, Pauly.
Yep. Leather.
Okay, so pretty warm today. Could be close to 70 for a high. Mostly sunny until evening. Overnight, we have a 60% chance of showers. Pretty chilly overnight, 38 for a low. And then sunny, and we stay like mid to upper 50s, couple possible low 60s, but sunny most of the rest of the week. Don't see any chance of rain after tonight. That'll be the end of that. That's weather.
Thank you very much.
Listen.
It's often said that the people of Utah speak a language all their own. It's a language that's often confusing and even incomprehensible to newcomers here in the Beehive State. So, Radio from Hell presents a handy guide to help everyone understand how the natives speak. It's the Utah word of the day. And today's word is...
Ta. Ta. Listen carefully. You'll hear the mayor of Mona, Utah, and his son Denver have a conversation with ta words sprinkled liberally throughout. And now the mayor of Mona, Don Criddle.
I'm the mayor of Mona, Utah, Don Criddle, and I've got a message for the town councils of some of Mona's neighboring communities. We here in Mona are tired of taking in your people. There's folks from down to Nephi and folks from up to Santaquin and some from the surrounding areas, like over to Goshen, who've been flooding across our town borders. They're coming to the Young Living Lavender Farm. They're coming to use our rope swing out to the pond. And these border crossers aren't the best people. A lot of them are drinkers and smokers and such. Now, I'm sure some of them are very fine people, but it's just too much. So today, I'm going to authorize our town council to take action.
What kind of action do you think the council will take, Daddy? Because if it was up to me, I know what I'd do about this immigration problem. I know what to do to stop it, Daddy.
I'm probably going to be sorry I asked this, but what you would the future mayor of Mona, Denver Criddle, what would you do to stop the flow of them people coming to our town?
It's simple, Daddy. We got to build a wall. We got to build a big wall, a beautiful wall, the biggest, the best wall all around Mona City. That would stop it.
All right, Denver, a wall. You're right. That would control them immigrants from Santaquin and the like from coming here. But hell, son, that's a lot of work to build a wall around the whole city. You need materials and manpower for a project such as that, don't you know?
I know, Daddy. I got an idea about that, too. We get a bunch of junked cars from the auto salvage place, and then we pile them junkers all around the town border. And then, you know what we also have an embarrassing abundance of here in Mona, don't you?
Yep, that would be tumbleweeds. We do have an embarrassment of tumbleweeds in this town.
That's right, Daddy. We got more tumbleweeds than we have residents of Mona. So we take as many tumbleweeds as we need, and and we put them all around the border, kind of fill in any gaps that there might be. Because I'm telling you, Daddy, folks trying to sneak into Mona from up to Santaquin or down to Nephi will get one look at that junk car and tumbleweed barricade. They'll hightail it right back to wherever they came from.
Son, I think you may have something. I'm going to head over to the council meeting right now and pitch it to them.
Will you tell them it was my idea, Daddy? It was my idea.
No, I won't. I'll tell them that this idea came from the future mayor of Mona, Utah, whose last name just happens to be Criddle.
But it was my idea, Daddy, not the future. Oh, wait, that is me, isn't it, Daddy? Tell them that I am their retribution.
Denver, you don't catch on quick, but you do eventually catch on.
Join us again some other time as we examine how the Utah natives speak with the Utah word of the day.
Well, that's over.
It's 6.
9:37 right now.
So I heard about this TV show called Baby Reindeer.
Baby Reindeer.
And I was reading a lot about it before it came out.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. And I was intrigued by it because it was based on a true story that this comedian wrote a one-man play about and performed it, and people liked it so much they're like, we should make this into a little mini-series.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about, there may be a spoiler in here.
Yeah, I don't. I was reading about it too, and I stopped reading because I don't want it to be given away. I want to watch it because it sounds really intriguing.
Well, and so you see why I was like, oh, I want to watch it. So I won't spoil it. I'll just give you the basic backstory. He's a bartender, and a woman comes into the bar, and he's nice to her.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have any money, and he's like, oh, this drink's on me. And that was all it took for her to turn into a stalker.
Mm. Oh, she's stalking him.
She's stalking him.
Yeah.
Now, it's not just your basic stalker story. Because he is a struggling comedian who wants attention. He has these comedy shows that he goes and does, and nobody laughs. And well, guess what she'll do?
Laugh?
She'll come to the shows and laugh and think. So he's getting. So even though she's creepy, he's getting positive attention from, like.
Now, you said something earlier. You said something about this show put you off, and you didn't think you would watch the rest of it.
Well, now
you can't say.
Well, it's because he doesn't handle it in the way, like you're watching it going, why are you encouraging this?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just tell her to knock it off?
Mm.
I mean, I guess there's not a story there. The story is that it gets complicated. Like, she's crazy, but he's kind of crazy too. He's kind of like, well, like you keep saying, why don't you go to the police? Why are you putting up with this? Well,
so it's this kind of dysfunctional.
Yeah.
This is I had not heard of it, But apparently, this is like the most watched thing on Netflix
Yeah.
right
It's
now.
huge right now.
And I've talked to a couple people who were like me, who watched a couple episodes and went, I'm out. I can't. I'm out. I can't do this.
So here are just some of the headlines about it.
Okay.
Real life baby reindeer woman complains, I'm the victim, he's stalking me. Stephen King says, this is the most incredible thing I have ever seen.
So apparently, a few days ago, the guy who wrote it came out and said, please don't try to find these people. I've changed the names and some details. Please don't go poking. Well, with the internet anymore, it doesn't take much to poke around and find
His
these
name
people.
is Richard Gadd.
And now apparently the stalker, because he came out a couple days ago and said, I don't have any contact with that woman anymore. Don't try to find out who she is. Leave her alone. Well, of course, some people have found her, and now they're interviewing her, and she's still crazy.
And she's still crazy. Okay.
It's an interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and finish it, but
Here's a texter. We watched Baby Reindeer over the weekend. It was good, but also very disturbing. We did some research, found it is very close to the actual events and story. Huh.
I don't know. I watched 2 of them and I went, eh.
He said it's kind of like he says it is based on events in my life, but I've changed the names of people, the genders of people, all of that kind of thing.
I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing that it's not what I was expecting it to be. Maybe that's what makes it interesting.
What made you go watch it in the first place?
Because I just thought it was, it's a true story about a stalker. Maybe I don't know. It's like a true crime thing I like. But the stalker should have been the one that made me uncomfortable. He, the victim, was the one that was making me uncomfortable. Like, why are you behaving in this way? This is, like, if this were happening to me, I wouldn't behave in this way. Why are you behaving in this way?
The reason as to why he didn't go to the police earlier is very disturbing. It gets very hard to watch.
Well, maybe
maybe I need to finish it,
and maybe I won't watch it. It's like it's weird, the way things affect people. I loved that show Fallout. My wife watched the first episode with me and said, "I can't watch this."
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's too violent. I said, "Well, it's kind of cartoony violence. I don't know. It's just too." And the first episode, really, there's a lot of violence.
It's the most violent episode of the
series. She just said, I can't do it, and I'm out. So it's just the way people get.
I think I can handle most things, but and it's not that anything happened in the first couple episodes they couldn't handle. It just, I don't know.
Well, it's like that. It's like that those movies, the Human Centipede movies.
Well, that's a
now. It's but I know people who say they are a very they're not parodies isn't the right word. It's social commentary. It's over the top. It's there's a lot of that in it. I think I don't care. I know enough about it to know that I don't care what point it's trying to make. I don't want to go there. They're not. They're. I think there are 3 of them, and they say they're not just trying to be salacious. They're trying to make a point. Well, I don't like the way they're trying to make the point, so I'm not going to watch it.
I will go finish it because now I feel like I brought it up, and
it's your obligation,
and we shouldn't judge things that we haven't seen.
Well,
so maybe I should.
I'm just disappointed that you didn't watch the Bon Jovi thing this week.
That I watched this instead. Okay.
You watched that instead.
I know what I'm going to get with the Bon Jovi.
You didn't. I wanted a report on the Bon Jovi thing.
Yeah.
I think you'd really like Sugar. With Colin Farrell I used to not think much of him one way or the other, and I've just decided he's one of the best actors on film around. He's incredibly good, and he's really good in this.
Go back and watch him in the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck, because he's the best part, playing this over-the-top, crazy villain.
He's in another horror movie that's like Pumpkinhead or one of those, and he's really good in it. It's a stupid movie, but
all right. I want to report on the Bon Jovi.
Okay.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back crawling towards the exit. Stand by.
Oh, it's brought to you by Delicious Sugar.
It's brought to you by the Donut Critic.
Yeah.
Let's and this is a feature we'll be doing every day on the show, right? This is going to be 5 days.
I should.
It's 5. Benjamin Lee is with us. He is. If you want to find out about Benjamin, just look for the Donut Critic
On social medias.
On social media, yep.
You can communicate with him, donutcritic at gmail.com, and you're on all the Instagrams and all of that stuff. And so just to background quickly before we get into these delicious desserts, why do you do this and how did this all come about?
Well, I just had a real strong love for sugar. But I felt like I was just eating sugar to eat sugar, but it wasn't satisfying.
Yeah.
So I decided, okay, I got to start prioritizing that and finding the best sugar out there. And so that's really how it was born, as I started critiquing them more and deciding what really was the best thing.
If you're going to have dessert, have a really good dessert.
Yes.
And you started with donuts, but it's branched out into all kinds of desserts?
All kinds of desserts, because Utah is just full of good desserts, not just donuts. And so it really did branch out pretty quickly.
But you did bring us donuts today. Tell us about these.
Yeah, so this is a new shop in Utah. It's called Bismarck Donuts. It's down in Orem, Utah. It honestly just opened on Saturday. And I'm already deeming it the sidecar of Utah.
These are warm. Did you put them in the microwave?
I did warm them up because I
Oh,
had
it helps. Are they right out of the oven?
I had to pick them up last night, so that's why they're warm.
Yeah, explain what you mean by the sidecar of Utah.
So Sidecar is in California, and it's just well known to be one of the specialty shops of the nation, one of the best. And they do really good on salty and sweet plays. They make donuts fresh throughout the day. Their flavors are known to be really deep and rich, and I found that at this place. So
which one should we try first?
Well,
I just tried the blueberry one. It's fantastic.
Which would you suggest we try first?
yeah, let's do.
Doesn't matter?
No, I would try the blueberry.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
got a
they're
lot
both
of
great.
fresh blueberry.
Yeah. They're both really good.
So yeah, the wild blueberry has a little bit of a tart berry to it, and so it just makes for a really good experience, especially because there's some salt in.
It's not overly sweet.
No, it's delicious.
No,
not overly sweet, just really nice.
And then the maple bacon, that is fresh bacon that they've made. A lot of donut shops will just use like the Costco crumble.
Sure.
Don't do that. Yeah, this is fresh and really delicious.
So Bismarck Donuts in Orem is they
Gina,
only have one location there?
Yep.
Are you not trying the?
Well, you know I don't do maple.
I know because you don't like maple.
Yeah.
But that's bacon.
Maybe, but you should
I know.
try it.
Doesn't the bacon override your?
You
Should I
should
try it anyway?
Yeah.
All right.
Gina, no.
What?
Don't try it. It's too dangerous.
Give it to.
It's too damn dangerous.
Give it to Dawson. Or
no, it's very good. It's really good. I think you may change your mind.
These are
about
both
maple.
great. So
Now,
Bismarck
to
donuts.
wash this down, you brought a drink. Now tell us about this drink.
Yeah, so this is also a Utah company. It's called Drink Shogi. So this was released a few weeks ago, and it is premium chocolate milk.
Shogi apparently is Swiss for chocolate.
Yes. So this story is a really cool one. He has just been on this mission to get the best chocolate milk, and I think he's done it. It's super chocolatey, and it leaves you with a taste of cocoa. Where, you get grocery store chocolate milk, and it's like drinking heavy molasses. Like it's just really
thick.
This is
thick.
This is cocoa. This
Yes.
definite cocoa.
And
Does this heat up? Does this heat up?
Yes.
I bet it
Yeah,
would,
they
yeah.
do hot as well. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And a local. This is in Orem as well.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can get those at Macy's and Dan's, and they're spreading out through other stores. You can go to drinkshogi.com to see all the locations.
This maple bacon donut
All right, I'll try
is
it.
superb.
It really is good.
Because it's not the fake maple that you get
Okay.
in other places.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's
You know,
real.
when I have, I don't hate maple. I don't love maple, but when I use maple syrup, but I always have
Oh, that's pretty good.
real maple
Oh,
syrup.
great. Pretty good. That blueberry is just, I love that blueberry. Okay, well, that's,
And
okay. So
what
that's
else is this on the?
Sip Shogi chocolate milk. All right.
Yep.
And what's this little thing?
So
here?
I've also brought in new Built Bar puffs. So they reformulated their chocolate and their puff formula, and it's really good. And I feel like it replaces candy bars. I know a lot of people are on the health kick right now, And so you need to be really particular about what you're eating. And this is a good treat. It's
So
only
if you
about
want something sweet, but you want a protein bar as well, this is a good choice.
That's really good.
Yeah, so I feel like this new formula is just all about the chocolate, all about the flavor, but you still only get 140 calories in that bar, which is sometimes half of what you get in a candy bar.
It's kind of like a jelly, jelly sort of thing.
Yeah, and this consistency is a lot better. The puff is better than the bar for most people. So if you're going out and trying a protein bar, try the puff from Built Bar.
Built Bar puffs.
And I totally agree with your philosophy. Don't waste my time with an average dessert. You know, if I'm going to have dessert, let's make it worth my while.
You have the same policy like with hamburgers too.
Oh, yeah,
Like I'm not going to have just a crappy fast food. If I'm going to have a hamburger, I want a really good hamburger.
Why would you have any other philosophy?
Exactly. Don't waste my time with an average crappy whatever.
But with these diets, people are going to start binging and kind of snapping back. So you got to start preparing for that and thinking through what's the dessert I really want to eat to make it worth it.
Well, I think it's going to be this maple bacon donut.
All of these win.
So it's Benjamin Lee. He is the donut critic. Go to just look for him on Instagram. That's where I think there are a lot of great pictures and things of you and and the desserts you and your family. And
are we going to have a link on our website for all this?
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Sorry, I surprised Katie with that. Yeah, we do that.
She's been dealing with technical problems.
And then you're going to be coming in every day, right?
Every day? No, I do plan every month, so you can definitely plan to eat something good next time I come in.
Excellent.
Every other week?
Thank you, Ben.
Okay, you've convinced me.
Every week.
Thanks, Ben. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The donut critic.
Donut critic. Thank you very much.
It's dangerous.
You know, right?
I can't have lunch today now. That's what has happened.
That's what it's boiled down to.
Poor you.
This is what has happened. I can't eat.
Don't we all feel bad for her?
I cannot do lunch today.
Yep. There's more out there?
More out there.
Oh, good. Real big fish.
Because?
It was there.
Just because.
It was there.
Okay.
So
there doesn't always have to be a reason.
it was there. It was presented to me, and I said, "Don't mind if I do."
I was looking at the New York Times over the weekend, and they were talking about the Paris Summer Olympics in Paris.
Yeah.
Do you know how they're doing the opening ceremonies?
I don't.
This is bizarre. Now, we've been to opening and closing ceremonies.
They're
at
usually
Olympics.
in a stadium.
You have them in a big stadium. The athletes come marching in from all the nations, and they walk around
Announce
the
them.
perimeter.
They're holding their flags,
and people sitting there watching in the stadium. The River Seine goes right through the middle of Paris.
Yes.
And about a 4-mile stretch they're going to do this. The athletes will come floating down the River Seine on barges.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
That's cool.
And I think
I like it.
Well, but think of the security problems here.
Why?
How do you control this? How do you control them from somebody trying to disrupt the ceremony?
How would it be different than it being
Because you check people when they're going into the stadium. You've got security all over the stadium.
I'm sure
you've got security all around.
They'll have security.
They're on open barges floating down a river.
They'll have security at the end where they start. They won't let anybody else go through that's not You could line up.
They believe me, they are working on the security, but it's so much less controllable than if it's in a stadium.
Yeah, that's true.
They're going to build some viewing stands along the side of the river,
some
bleacher kind of stuff. But I think it'll be really cool. But it's and they're
Guy has found some information. You got to pay to get in. Between 140 and 170 boats are expected to be used for the 10,500 athletes at the opening ceremony, which is set to require a huge security operation. Interior Minister Gerard Darmanin has estimated that 25,000 security agents will be required. 35,000 police cars are expected to be mobilized. Tickets ranging from 90 euros to 2,700 euros.
$99 to 2,960 bucks.
Are set to go on sale via ballot next month.
It's just going to be
with all those
so hard to. It's still going to be. I think it'll look neat, but it's.
With all those security agents there, now's the time to go rob people on the other side of town. All the places down there by the river. We're going to go break into houses on the other side of Paris.
And you'll recall Paris has had some pretty serious terrorist attacks.
Yes,
you guys were in Atlanta during the Richard Jewell. Not Richard Jewell, but Richard Jewell attack.
We slept through it.
My favorite story about that is I was here because I was Katie, and you guys were in.
You were kind of a really less effective version of Katie. Let's put it that way.
This is absolutely true. But you guys would call in from the games, and we got word early that morning that there had been an explosion, and I knew you guys were staying right across the street.
We were pretty much across the street.
You slept through it.
Slept through it.
Well, yeah.
We were
like, how am I telling you about this in Utah, and you were across the street from it when it happened?
We're like, what?
Well, it's because that was a weird deal too, because that hotel that they put us up in was not finished.
That's true.
Really?
It was supposed to be remodeled, and it was like, it was just like, it was pretty terrible.
It was drywall.
Yeah.
So you should have been able to hear if that's all that was.
Yes.
It was thin walls.
But we were very tired. All right. Let's do the promo.
Now I've lost it again. Oh, here we go. What, is it just 3 lines?
It doesn't all have to be big.
Okay.
Tuesday's Radio from Hell features X-Poll, Beat Gina, Boners, and Utah Word of the Day.
No, don't promise Utah Word of the Day.
We may or may not have all of that and Utah Word of the Day on tomorrow's Radio from Hell show here on X96.
I gave you an out. I said may or may not. It's up to you.
It's always up to me, isn't it?
All right. I think we're good. Fine job as always, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
It's not often we have rodeo clowns in the news.
That's true.